We're live. Buddy, thank you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Morning Ritual. You're still watching us. Why? I'm one of your hosts, Noir. I go by eBay. And of course, with me is always.
I'm your other host. My name's Anita. My pronouns are she, they. And we've got a fantastic guest for you today.
Yeah, we
Uh,
do.
why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Mikey Fatum or Mike Fatum. I go by both. I am slowly drifting to the right.
It's all good. I got you.
I
Gotta
go by
resist
the
your
most
cameras.
boring pronouns. He, him. The default, basically you started the character creator and you just hit next 3 times and then you got me. Uh, and I am a lot of different things. I'm currently the senior community manager for Cryptic Studios, and in my free time, I am the host of the Ace of Geeks podcast, Yavin Radio, and Edge of Reality, and I'm also the creator of the League of Swords. Whee!
Listen, I was gonna try to contain my excitement about this, but like, if you've watched this show for any amount of time, you know that I am the hugest Highlander fan. In fact, I would say I am the biggest Highlander fan. If you would challenge me about it, we can sort of fight right now.
All right, hold on. There's an important question that I have to get out right off the bat.
Okay,
Christopher Lambert in Mortal Kombat or Christopher Lambert in Highlander?
Christopher Lambert and Highlander.
Oh no!
If
See, now we're gonna
if
fight.
if if we're including his appearance in the pilot,
Oh, okay.
and if
Okay.
we're including his appearance in Highlander Endgame, because Highlander had Endgame before Marvel did, and I'm sick of people calling when they say, "Oh, I'm talking about Endgame." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I was brokenhearted when Duncan and Connor had to fight too." They're like, "No, I'm talking about Thanos." I'm like,
But
"Wrong
folks,
Endgame."
Noir has spoken positively about Highlander Endgame. We just want to warn children to not espouse these dangerous views in public.
Listen, is it a bad movie?
Yes.
Yes. Did I cry? Also, yes.
In your defense, I had not watched the TV show when I saw that movie in theaters. I didn't watch the TV show until I was until my daughter was born. I need something to watch while I was feeding her. Man, that is the Duncan has to kill one of his friends every episode show. Look,
Like,
everyone, it's a new character who's Duncan's friends with. They will be dead soon.
and then Endgame is he has to kill his very, very best friend.
Uh-huh.
And I cried like a baby. Like every part of me wants to go in on why. Okay, fuck it. It's our show. We can do what we want. So the movie starts off with a flashback of them in France. And what you need to understand is Connor is Duncan's like mentor. He's Duncan's Obi-Wan. He's
Sure,
Duncan's
yeah.
Qui-Gon, right? And so there's this move that Connor knows that Duncan can never figure out, right? He can never figure it out. So every time they spar, Connor does the move, and like Duncan would lose. But like they're just
they beat
sparring.
up on Edge and Christian with that move.
They do. It's great. And then at the end of the movie, they have like there's this one immortal that's stronger than them both, so they need their powers combined to beat them. So Connor's like, "Yo, this ain't a spar. We fight to the death today." And he kind of puts Duncan in that move, and Connor's like, and Duncan's like, "Please don't do this," like begging for his life. And
There's
you're like,
nothing I can do to get out of this move that is totally within my control.
"It's a stupid move." Yes. It's the dumbest move
It's
on the planet. It's basically just locking your swords at each other's necks. It's the dumbest thing.
it's the most anime shit of all time.
It really is. And Duncan's begging for his life, so you're like, oh no, Duncan's gonna die. But what you didn't know is that in the years that Duncan's been alive, he figured out how to get out the move. But the only way to get out the move is to kill your opponent, and he does it. And it's the saddest music and flashbacks of the other movies and TV shows, and I was not okay.
It's not But hold up. It's not even flashbacks to the other movies and TV shows. It's just flashbacks of the flashbacks we saw in this movie.
Is it a bad movie? Absolutely. Will I defend it to the death? You goddamn right I will.
It could be worse. It could be the source.
There is no that movie doesn't exist. It's Highlander 1, the TV shows, and Endgame. Wait, hold on. It's Highlander 1, season 1 through 5. No, season 1 through 5 with 3 episodes from 6, and then it's Highlander Endgame. That's the end.
You didn't mention the Raven though. The Raven's in there.
Don't do that.
Oh my
Don't
God.
do that.
Don't do this.
Don't
do
this.
this.
Folks, you didn't know you were getting on a Highlander podcast today, did you?
The clickening. That movie did. Listen,
There's no
I told
one
you what
bossing say.
being a fan of Highlander is like being a fan of Devil May Cry. There's some stuff that they
You
say
just
is
don't
canon.
talk about.
That it's not. It's not. We just pretend it don't happen. I say all that to say that I am extremely excited to check out the League of Swords the next time I'm in LA. What can you tell us what this is, how it came to be, and like what are your plans for it? Because everything that I've heard about it is fucking sick.
My plans for it are total domination of the world, obviously.
Obviously.
Obviously. So the League is basically a smoothie, or like, one of those presses that you see on TikTok of all of the things I love. It's professional wrestling, but we threw the wrestling out the window and put in choreographed sword fights. The storyline is heavily inspired by things like the greatest movie of all time, the 1995 Mortal Kombat, WMAC Masters back in the day.
I was just about to pull that.
Lucha Underground. There was another example that I pull up all the time, but it's that kind of the idea is that like 90s edgy, where we take everything super seriously and we we act like everything is like really dark and edgy, but it's not. It's just not. Like Johnny Cage is up in here cracking jokes about being in high school. It's just not. And so it it came to me when I was depressed, because I had gone to a like watch a class at a wrestling school, and like observe a class, and the class had ended with the students putting on like a match with their trainer, and I was watching it, and it was an okay match. Like, it wasn't, lit the world on fire, but it wasn't bad. And then the end of the match was their trainer just screaming at them for like 15 minutes straight, about everything they messed up. And I was like, cool, I can't go to this school. So then I messaged my friend, who is a wrestler and who was on Tough Enough and is just an all around great guy.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. His name is AJ Kirsch. And I messaged him about what had happened, and like, is that just the school, and he was kind of like, no, that's really something you have to learn to deal with if you want to be a wrestler. That's kind of the culture. And I was like, cool, so I'm never going to be a professional wrestler, because crying every day is not something you could do in the locker room. So I was driving home, I was feeling sorry for myself. I was like, okay, that's a dream that's dead forever. And then I don't know what lightning bolt out of the blue hit me, but I just, all of a sudden, my brain was like, but what about wrestling with swords? And I'd been doing fight choreography since middle school. I learned, I wrote a play for my school's arts festival. It was called The Route to Power. It was just Star Wars. The dialogue was dialogue I had taken out of X-Men comics. But but it had sword fights in it, and we got this guy, this very, very wonderful gentleman named Evan Young, who was an Royal Shakespeare Company trained swordsman, to come in and choreograph the fights. And I learned how to do it then, and it was just like, this is everything I ever wanted. I get to tell stories and swing swords at the same time. So, in that car ride home, all of a sudden my brain was like, you could do wrestling with swords. And then everybody I told the idea to was like, that's the coolest thing I ever heard. And I was like,
Yeah.
what if I actually did it?
So right now you're doing like live shows?
We're doing both. So all of our live shows are taped for YouTube. So you could look up the League of Swords on YouTube right now, and you can see our previous show, which is what was it called? It Has Begun. We've had 4 shows. There's one that
Yes.
wasn't titled, and then we had It Has Begun, Save Your Pity for the Weak, and Deadliest of Enemies. And so far, nobody has come up with the connection between all of those names, but I bet you somebody here will. uh,
Just as a quick aside, when you were talking about WMAC Masters,
yeah,
I was a huge fan of that growing up as a
such a
kid,
good show.
and my favorite was the Machine.
Oh my god, he's so good.
I don't know if you remember this, but in the first Mortal Kombat
Yeah.
movie, he's the first person to die and get his soul taken.
Yeah, he gets his butt kicked by Liu Kang, and then Shang Tsung rips his soul out.
I cried like a baby
no!
because I was like, they killed the Machine.
I didn't watch WMAC until I was like a full ass adult. But I didn't hear about it when I was a kid. But I remember watching that scene in the movie and going, "Who is this dude? He is so fucking cool." Like
He's
they're
so
only using him for
fucking
this one scene.
Like he in WMAC Masters, you could tell who they wanted to be the guy, but he ended up being the guy instead. And I'm like, I really wish more happened with that dude. That he was, he's so cool.
He's so cool. I love watching those episodes because it's like, they'll do this like crazy kung fu fight of like, a like dragon versus a robot, and then they'll cut backstage and be like, but let's talk about drugs. So fucking 90s.
Oh my god. I still hate that didn't take off. It should have.
Yeah, man. It should. There's people who know about it. I like every time I bring it up. Well, half the time I bring it up, people are like, and the other half the time, people are like, hell yes, you've sold me immediately by mentioning WMAC Masters.
Oh, so this is available online. I didn't know that. So
yeah.
We're gonna have to do a watch party because I want to see sword fighting.
Hell yeah! I'm working on editing the latest show right now, which is if I reveal some of my insecurities on air, somewhat going to annoy me because I lost an SD card from the show, so I only have 2 cameras from one angle, so it's gonna look weird when it's done. But screw it, I still gotta get it done.
I'm sorry. I literally just started. What is the head Lux plan? And it's so perfectly 90s with the blue tint and the Dutch angle.
Thank you.
Oh, yay, this hits me where I live. This hits me where I live. It's still cool to me. Like, you ever see those guys who have like Astro vans with like wizards drawn on the side fighting dragons, and like there's that part of you that's like, that's kind of corny, but you understand that this guy fully believes this is the most badass thing ever. Like, that's how this is for me.
I gotta wear glasses like this when I'm in character. It works too well.
Oh my god, this is awesome! I'm gonna put the link of the YouTube video in chat. You guys have to check this out. This is so fucking cool. This hits me right where I live. Oh
that
man,
makes me so happy.
I'm gonna watch the shit out of, because I felt bad because I was like, I'm never gonna get to see this because I'm in Chicago.
Yeah, no, you can watch it wherever the hell you are.
Oh hell yeah!
And you get to watch it with the amazing commentary that we added. So my buddies Brian and Ryan completely understood the assignment on commentary. It's great.
Hell yeah!
Again, we know where it's come from. We know what it is. Like, what's your plan for this? Because again, this is fucking awesome. And I can easily see this being on Saturday morning. Well,
Oh God,
nobody
I
does
hope
anything
so.
Saturday mornings anymore, but I
Yeah, I
could.
know, but that's
Except
the
watch the
aim.
show. Haha, plug.
Hey, yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, I think the overall plan is just uh do the sky's the limit. Go full WWE if we can. I want to get this thing touring around the country and
That would
selling out
be
arenas
so
and
cool.
stuff. Right now we're not there. Right now, we sell
Homes.
we sell out tiny spaces. And those spaces are great and I love them. But we want to get there. We got to get the word out there.
I
Which is
mean,
why I Discord messaged Noir and I was like, "Can I please come on your show and talk about the league, please, sir?"
you didn't have to convince me at all. Like, I just like hanging out with you. But
Hey.
from a production standpoint, I'm just like, once this does take off, like you can sell the action figures, you
Oh
can
my
sell
God,
the
yeah.
swords. Like this
That's
is easily a video game. Like
I hope so. We've been talking about we actually my wife Mei Ling, who is taken over, like I'm doing merch for everything forever now. Which is the greatest thing in the world. She gave me or she found this website that sells USB cards that look like audio cassettes. And so we're gonna put the soundtrack out on those to like buy at the
yes.
shows and stuff.
Oh man. Like this is so freaking cool. Like you've got your hands wrapped around a lot of cool stuff. So just to take a brief aside, we will be back to this because it's swords.
It's swords.
I'm gonna fall back in love with it again at some point. But you also do a lot of work with Cryptic,
I do.
which is they have made some of my favorite video games of all time. I do have to ask you though, because you're the community manager, you have to be the interface between the game company and the community. I can
I
imagine
do.
that being difficult at times.
It's interesting. I wouldn't say it's all difficult all the time. The really nice thing is that all three of our games have a really cool community of people that are like nice and know how to ask questions and give feedback without like being a jerk. And just generally like, super, super cool to be around. There's definitely also, problems. There's some folks who don't understand, but that's the internet,
Yeah.
and so it's not I'm not dying every day. But there's some times that I'm like, perhaps you should have rephrased that entirely from the beginning. And by the beginning, I mean when you logged onto the internet the first time.
Maybe you should log off and really consider your life. Um,
Yeah, exactly. If you want to go home and rethink your life.
so, so my next question is like I know when I was doing community management for like TTRPG, like it kind of made it hard for me to enjoy TTRPGs every now and then. I'm wondering, is it the same way with like if being a community manager for a video game where it's just like I would love to play right now, but then it's also making me think about work.
The trick to that with video games is to play different video games. Like
Ah.
I still play like SDO and Neverwinter and Champions all the time, but when I need a break from work, I'll fire up let's say maybe some democracy. Uh, da, 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 da. You know, the nice thing about it is it hasn't ruined games for me. It's actually made games cooler. Because I love knowing stuff about how the sausage is made, and I honestly think like most game communities would be better once they knew how to get past uh like once they knew how to get past the sorry, I think I just closed the caption link. My bad.
All right.
When they once they knew how to get like that there's stuff that they want, like
Mhm.
it isn't just flipping a switch to like say for example add a housing system to Star Trek Online. It's not a thing we could just do by like pressing a button.
Yeah. Shit,
bunch
I
of
didn't
dev
know how
that goes
much I
into
wanted
that.
that until you just said.
Oh no! Oh no! I've done a terrible thing. Oh no, wait, I didn't close the caption link. It's in another
Let me
window.
yell
You're
at the
right.
community manager.
I actually had a friend who there was a bug where he couldn't sit on in his chair in the cockpit. And so he messaged on Twitter, and I messaged him back privately to be like, hey, we're I'm in the but I'm the community manager. I don't know if you knew that. Here's why this is happening. Uh, and then he was like, cool, and proceeded to message on Twitter and Facebook and like, why can't I sit in my chair? And I'm like, you know me. You just talk to me.
I told you why.
Who did you think you were gonna see? This is why I think Superman could get away with it.
Every now and then.
Like
He gets one.
with just the glasses, like
Yeah.
people don't want to know. It's the
Yep.
you straight up told him, I'm the guy, I'm the community manager. He still
Yeah.
goes on.
Yeah.
But I imagine that has to get annoying as well, where it's just like somebody reaches out to you and it's just like, hey, could you do this thing about your job? Like,
Yeah.
like no, leave me alone.
Yeah. I had a stream last week, 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, where we had the CEO of the company on, and somebody straight up was like asking questions about when he would fire me. It's great. But
God.
but it's still like it's easy to focus on all of the bad stuff, and it has made it harder for me to go to like other gaming communities, like stuff that I used to think was super reasonable. I look at now and I'm like, why would you ask that? But uh um but like the positives outweigh the negatives. There's a reason I haven't like quit my job and run into the hills. We've got really really cool people. I've had really really cool experiences.
Yeah.
I got recognized at Disneyland one time. Like somebody was like, "Are you Ambassador Cal?" And I was like, "Yes." So I mean that part of it is great. Getting to go to conventions and talk to people about the games is great. And like I said, there's a solid community on all three games of people who are super cool. And it's really fun to interface with them.
Like I'm so laser focused in on Champions that I didn't even consider like it's also Star Trek Online, which I also like, and Neverwinter, which I have not gotten around to playing, but I need to. But you've got three communities.
Yeah, it's great. It's crazy. And then, on top of all that, I'm also the writer for Champions, and have been for a couple of years. So I've been writing all the new content and like character backstories and stuff. It's actually one of the more fun things about that job is there are Julia, our developer, will throw together a costume for like a lockbox vendor or something like that, and then just send me a costume and be like, "What's the backstory of this character?" And I'm like, "So I can do anything? Excellent! This is an action figure come to life."
Yes.
Uh,
So we do have some segments that we do here
oh yes, please.
every time. So we're gonna start with the first. Here we go. I have to take a deep breath because your answer could change the shape of how the rest of the show.
It could make or break this man's heart.
It could change
All
all
right.
of time.
In the TTRPG scene, there is a silent war between those of us that see this as just a storytelling device. You roll it, you see what it says, and then you go along with the story, and others who see this as the forbidden crotch, as the forbidden candy.
Forbidden crotch?
No, the crunch, not crotch.
Okay.
The forbidden crotch. That was my nickname in high school. But they see this as the forbidden candy. They put it in their mouth and crunch it, regardless of the fact that it is a dental and a choking hazard. And then there are those of us that think that's fucking gross. Because dice are a communal thing, and so we are the dice defenders. We try to stop the crotches from crotching their die. And then there's a third faction of what I like to call fucking cowards, but they call themselves crotch responsibly because apparently you can do something inherently irresponsible responsibly, like playing a safe game of Russian roulette. So I have to ask you, what side of this war are you on? Are you on the side of the dice defenders? Are you on the side of the crunch crew? Are you on the side of crunch responsibly?
Can't we all just get along? No, I,
There must be war.
there must be war between us. I am trying to think of how I feel about all of this. I think the answer is I totally understand the feral neurodivergent urge to put things in your mouth. But I like to think of a quote from the amazing game Space Quest 6 of "Don't touch that. We don't know where you've been."
Sounds like we got a dice defender on our hands, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, probably a little. Probably a
Uh,
little.
We've got a question from chat though. For the sword fighting community, is sword swallowing the equivalent of dice crunching?
It's a little different because you use sword swallowing swords for sword swallowing. You don't use them for fighting, mostly because they're tiny little swords and they would snap in half.
Like, I think that would be the equivalent of edible dye, which we don't have a problem with you eating
No.
edible dye. Go for it.
But I could see how edible dye wouldn't have the same appeal because you can eat it, and so it isn't forbidden. And the forbidden is really what draws so many of us.
Yeah, I mean, that's why they must be stopped. Because you go to play a game of Vampire the Masquerade and you need
No, you don't.
800
You
D8s.
never do that.
No, you're right. You gotta play some dice pool game. You need 10,000 D10s, and then you go and like, hey buddy, can I borrow a D10? And then you get this gnarled, shoot up
It's
thing
like when
in your hand.
it's like when you borrowed somebody's pencil in middle school and you're just like, why is this wet? Why are the teeth marks on this?
It's getting to the point where I'm pretty sure that if I were to ever do a charity stream, I could make one of the goals, I will crotch for this much money, and people would pay it.
People would back it.
People
But
would
I
back
want-
it, but also, man, you gotta start enunciating that word a little more. Because I definitely just heard you say I would crotch for more money, and I know you would.
I mean, I will crotch for all the money. I'm congested and I got a cough drop in my mouth, so it's gonna be cock. So I mean crotch. It's getting worse. My love of dick is exposing itself. Yeah, but I say that
I'm loving the look on Anita's face of what the hell have I gotten into?
No, I know what I've gotten into. I was the one that invited him on this show in the first place.
it's only gonna get worse from here.
Chewing dice so much it fucks up the balance, only rolling nat ones. Thank you, Sphinx.
Exactly.
What if you chewed it? What if you chewed the dice deliberately so it only roll nat 20s?
Then
And
not
you could be
only
like, I need to get out my special dice, and everybody's like, we don't want to see that. Don't roll it on the table. Oh my god! And then you roll it on the table and you get a 20, and they're like, you saved all of our lives, but we feel weird about it.
not only are you an abomination, you're also a cheater at that point.
Switch
But
games,
I'll-
only play
cheating if
Star
you don't
Trek
get caught.
Adventures. Smart.
There you go.
I just say all that to say this. I understand that I can get y'all to support any charity that I want out of spite by offering up myself and crotching on camera. But I want you to know I don't love humanity that much. There's no cause that I give shit about enough.
Really?
Put this in
What
my
about
mouth.
sick children, Noir? What about sick children?
Well, I hope they're sick in the sense that they're doing a sick 360 variable kickflip. I hope that's what we're talking about.
What
Because
you
other
should-
than that, they ain't getting shit from me.
What you should do? I was gonna say you should do for the April Fool's episode. But April Fool's is in like 3 days. But you should just bring on one of those really realistic looking edible dice and just start the show by just taking a huge chunk out of it.
He doesn't have follow through. See Noir's pain. Listen, me and this audience, how do I put this? hate each other.
It's an antagonistic relationship, to be sure.
Like, but it's that hate that bond. Like, I'm in a toxic relationship.
You're in
with
a
my
toxic
audience.
relationship with our chat. It's true.
So I obviously was not here for this story. What penance did you not follow through on?
Okay, all right. So they're being dramatic. We have you'll be in this segment, but we have a segment called TTRPG confessionals where you confess to like something that you bring to the table that might not be the greatest. And my confession was I often say I would love to be in a romance at the table, and then when like it gets close to happening, like sometimes I bail out, sometimes I chicken out, sometimes the 0.3% bitch in me wins. All right, it's not much bitch, but there is some bitch in there. And so my
Chad,
penance
is it
was
more than 0.3%? Let me know. In
no,
the
it's
chat,
just 0.3%. Don't listen to their lies.
Don't believe their lies.
But my penance was I had to smooch somebody in the next episode. And the next episode of the game that I was in was like really action heavy. There was no time for smooching. It was time for killing.
There's always time for smooching.
Smooches happen during action. Smooches should happen during action. That's when the smooch is for.
Man, whose side are you on right now? You gotta help me out here. Man. They trying to fuck me here. So, so the
But you're not,
episode
and that's
after
the problem.
you shut the hell up, Anita. Nobody asked you. So the episode after the one that I couldn't do it because we were in action mode was the series finale. So
that's the perfect time for smooching.
yeah, and I did smooch
On the forehead.
On the
counts. It counts.
That's like a 7 or 8%. Maybe even a 10 to 12%.
They never
Here's
described the smooch. They just said smooch, and I smooch. I fulfilled my contract.
Here's the deal. I was the one that initiated the penance and told him that he needed to smooch. I said, I'm not a fan of it, but I'll accept it because it is a smooch.
Yep.
Chad, however.
Wow. I mean,
Chad has been on my ass.
Chad has been on your neck. It has not left. Graythay asks, does that make them fantagonists?
I like it. I like it. We'll keep it. That's Beyonce has the beehive. Rihanna has the Navy, and we've got fantagonists.
Okay, total non sequitur. But I was listening to Beyonce's Jolene yesterday, and I love that we now have a version of that song that's "Bitch, I will murder you, and they will never find the pieces of your body."
Wait, did she change the lyrics?
He changed the lyrics. The whole song is now like, "My man will never leave me, and if you try, I will shoot you." It's amazing.
I need to listen to like. Am I about to get myself in some more trouble? Yeah, I am. All right, let's fucking do it.
You about to get kicked out of your entire race?
Yep, I'm about to get kicked out of my race. I'm about to get kicked off the internet. When I say I don't fuck with billionaires, I mean it. Like, I mean, a billionaire comes out with a bop, y'all change your mind. Like, I'm very consistent. But if Dolly Parton gave the okay, and it's a banger, I'll listen to it. I'll still be mad about it.
Pretty sure Dolly Parton's doing pretty well for herself too.
I mean, well, Dolly Parton is in a different kind of trouble.
That's true.
Dolly Parton's like rodeo show.
Oh,
still
God.
using some antiquated stuff in there. So
Yeah.
it's all
Medieval
the same.
times, but for the Civil War, everybody.
Yeah. The South will rise again. Please don't.
No. Please
just,
don't.
Just stay down.
This is my ADHD brain in working, but there's a song that I absolutely love. It's called "Punch 'Em in the Dick," and it has many wonderful lyrics in it. The best one obviously is "If you're in trouble, give them some you're in trouble." But there's the other one that's my favorite is "Make it so the South will never rise again."
Oh If you're in trouble, give us a I need that on a shirt. I need that on a shirt. Okay. Whoo. Wait, what the? I'm sorry. I refreshed Twitter as we were talking, and the first thing I see is somebody goes, "Sorry, but that Jolene girl doesn't stand a chance." And it's a picture of Dolly Parton, Miley Cyrus, and fucking Beyonce. And I'm like, why is Beyonce? I mean, why is Miley Cyrus in this? I don't get it.
Oh, she did a cover of Jolene with Dolly Parton last. She did like a whole concert with Dolly Parton last year, and so her cover went viral for a little bit. Like they did a
Oh,
duet
well,
of it. Yeah.
she shows what I know. But anyway, back to the topics at hand. Um,
The amount of random bullshit knowledge that's in here.
I swear, I would never have thought Jolene from Beyonce would pop up in this show. I really want to listen to it now because I've always hated like. Have y'all seen Dolly Parton in her prime? Like,
Oh yeah, no, Jolene
what
don't stand
must
a fucking
Jolene
chance.
have looked like?
I
Her
think the
beauty was
interpretation.
beyond compare, with flaming
Yeah.
locks of auburn hair, and eyes of, I believe, emerald green.
That sounds right.
Yeah,
I mean, but also, well, hold on. Was Dolly Parton's man fucking with Jean Grey?
maybe it was mind control.
You know, that would be a whole different twist to that story.
Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's mind control.
I want that on the shirt.
I hope they talked about that at the session 0. Because you answered wisely to the crunch question, I had to put my whole mouth into that one. Crunch question.
Let's all just say it together, chat.
Crunch.
That's good
we have the
timing.
following follow-up question for you. Now, because the spaces that you are in expand beyond just TTRPG, I'm going to alter the question a bit, which is,
Alright.
you are
Great,
the
you brought me
god
further.
king of all things nerdy. You snap your fingers,
Oh shit.
and anything you want to have happens. Like, for example, the example that I like to use is, if you want, you can snap your finger and all the money that WotC generates goes to like an indie of some sort. You get 3 of these changes, snap of your fingers. What do you do?
Yeah, 3. Okay. The first one. Thank you very much for that clip, Sphinxful. I'm gonna need that all the time. The first change is that I am magically installing magical detectors that work through magic in every convention and nerd space. And if you a creep, you get teleported to a little space on the moon. There's air. There's air. There's food. But you're gonna be there for a while. We'll let you watch your anime, but you're not coming down from the moon. It might get crowded. I might have to build a second space.
I feel like there should be like a Hunger Games, like a projection in the sky.
Oh my god.
Of who's gone to the moon.
Who's gone to the moon? Oh. We'll have rehabilitation in there. Like, if you can learn to be a better person, you know, maybe you get to take a few minutes off the moon every now and then.
I mean, half the fun of conventions at that place is just looking up.
Look it up. Be like,
really?
How you doing up there, Gabe?
I didn't see that coming. Oh, I saw that one coming for sure.
24/7 reality show.
Oh, poor William Shatner will never be able Oh god. Meet Captain. Oh, never mind. He'll be in on a Zoom call, I guess.
I don't even remember what the quote was, but I saw Shatner once live because he was hosting a showing of Wrath of Khan, and I wanted to see Wrath of Khan. He was talking about his jazz album or something, but he started talking about the Plantation South, and I was like, you should, whatever we're going on about now here, Shatner, you need to stop. Whatever's happening, whatever you're talking about, please stop right now.
Bill, come on.
Bill.
You have Like, okay, so we're gonna come back to the other two issues, but I'm kind of stuck on something. And I would love your two perspectives,
Okay.
which is like Harry Potter is dead to us. Like we just don't fuck with Harry Potter because J.K. is a monster. Kirk is still very much alive to us, and I feel like we've taken Kirk away from William Shatner.
Yeah. I think we absolutely have, because we've got two other Kirks at least, and Chris Pine and the guy from Strange New Worlds, his name I can't remember, as far as I know, aren't creeps, and have done a great job with the character. And you know, everybody who's a Trekkie has their Kirk in their head. It's kind of like the Doctor. So I think you're right. I think we have reclaimed Kirk.
Paul Wesley.
What was that?
Paul Wesley is the Kirk.
Paul Wesley, thank you.
And I'm like, is that something we should employ more often? Like, I've never seen a character just stripped from a neck. Like, because, like, think about it. If you think about Spock, you think about Leonard Nimoy. Like, Leonard Nimoy is Spock. We have a number of amazing other Spocks. Yep. Zachary Quinto was an amazing Spock. The new hot Spock is a great Spock.
Ethan Peck. That one I did remember.
But like Spock is still Leonard Nimoy.
For a lot of folks.
I don't think Kirk is still William Shatner.
Well, it also helps that even up until his death, and this is petty, but even up until his death, Leonard Nimoy still looked like Spock. You can't look at Shatner and see Captain Kirk right now. It just isn't really there.
You make a good point. I never thought about it like that. But I don't see that being able to happen with any other Star Trek character. Is another thing. Like, I don't think Picard will ever be anyone other than Patrick Stewart. Like, I can't even imagine it. So like, I get where some of the old heads are like, I can't believe y'all are trying to take Kirk from Shatner, but also like,
it's already done.
I mean, look at Galaxy Quest. Galaxy Quest makes the greatest argument for taking Shatner or Kurt away from Shatner. I love that movie.
It's a great movie. It's brilliant in every way, shape, and form. But the thing is, you started talking about Harry Potter with that. The problem with Harry Potter is we can't wrench it from her cold, dead hands yet. Like the moment, like even just like Warner Brothers owns Harry Potter instead of her owning it, then it's like, hey, guess what? You could take a Hogwarts test again. Like, it's not the end of the world. But yeah. I felt bad. I was at Universal Studios the other day, and I felt really bad for these folks who were working, because they were working really hard to get it so that I would like buy merchandise. The guy at the wand shop had this whole spiel he was going through about and I finally had to cut him off, and I was like, my man, these wands are really cool, but I can't give Joanne money. And he kind of had this defeated look on his face of like, yeah, I know.
Like, I'm doing this for the check, so I understand you, man.
I get it, man.
Oh God, what an epic bag fumble. Like,
yeah, I mean, Moore also brings up a good point that even if you pull it away from her, the world is pretty problematic.
It totally is. That's completely fair. It's one of those things like Firefly that I would love to see another creator get a shot at to take the potential and make it less racist.
Yeah.
Maybe a lot less racist.
Less sexist.
Maybe zero racist.
I tried to go back and watch Buffy.
Oh, don't do it.
Precious
Buffy
memory. Leave it there.
Yeah, Buffy was one of my favorite shows of all time. My wife started rewatching it, and Xander was my hero, man.
Oh,
and boy, did I need some new heroes.
Yeah, when you realize which characters in that man's media are just his self-inserts, it's pretty telling.
Yeah. I think Wash is a self-insert too, but I think Alan Tudyk is so good that he pulled
Alan
away
Tudyk
from
that. I think Alan Tudyk saves that.
Yeah.
I think that the self-insert for Whedon is Simon in Firefly.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, of course.
I
It's
mean,
also
we know for sure that Bruce Banner was his self-insert in the Avengers.
yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. As soon as he, like, if you watch any of Justice Media, you figure out pretty quickly which character is his self-insert.
Yep. It's also hilarious if you watch the Alien movie he wrote, because all the characters from Firefly are in that. Like every single one. They just got different names.
I just, I'm thinking about the Bruce Banner and Black Widow
Oh,
stuff again, and it's
you don't
just
have to think about it. You can choose to remove that from your brain.
You can
why
just
did they let him?
compartmentalize that.
Why did they
That's
let
it.
him get away with that? Like
I mean, the same reason they let him get away with a prima nocta line.
Yep.
wait, what?
In the scene where they're like gathering around, they're trying to pull Mjolnir from like the spot that Thor left it.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Stark makes a prima nocta. It's like, if I get it, I'm bringing back prima nocta.
Oh,
Yeah.
I had to delve back real deep into my
Gotta get
knowledge
into those
of
brain
what
fart
Prima
memories.
Doctor was, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
oh,
it's when the king gets
yeah,
to
yeah, uh-huh,
yeah.
yep, yep,
Mm-hmm.
yep.
Mm-hmm.
Why
First
is he
right of
like
refusal.
this? Why is
It's
Jocelyn
terrible.
like? Anyway, you got two more
Yeah.
wishes.
Yep.
Oh yeah, right. 2 more wishes. Okay, cool.
ADHD, baby.
Woo! All right. Now we get into the let's see. The first one is, I'm gonna look around my room here at all this nerd shit. Oh yes. The first one is that all seasons of Kamen Rider are fully subtitles and titled and released legally in the U.S.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. No one in chat knows what Kamen Rider is, do they? that's,
Oh, I know what
maybe one of those
I know
details.
what Kamen Rider is.
You should.
And then I guess my third one would be so much power.
I think that first one is still like the greatest one.
Yeah, I started real strong.
You started way strong.
Sending
Yeah.
bigots to the moon is probably like
No,
top,
I mean,
top
bigots,
10.
creeps, just
Yep.
a whole shebang bang. It's just
More shoddy. You should watch all of it. Watch Kamen Rider Geats. It's coming out on Blu-ray. Anyway, um, we could go into that more later when I'm not trying to think of changing the world with a third wish. Let's see.
Oh no. Do we need to
yeah. No, we're good. We're good. Keep
You're
going.
good?
Don't mind me.
Okay.
The cats are just catting.
Good job, cats. Keep on catting. No, wait, stop that. Let's see. All the petty things.
One sec, sorry. I
Oh, no
just
worries.
accidentally clicked something wrong.
We're professionals.
We're very professional here.
Super professional.
Totes profesh. Third thing.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry, I was waiting for you to tell me you were ready.
All right.
Yeah, we're good. Sorry about that.
A third thing, I'm just gonna be super petty. Third thing is that I get $10 billion in the League of Swords budget.
Yes. Yes. Who are your dream guests for that? Like, if you
For the
could,
league?
yeah.
Well, we had this may never happen, but you watch wrestling, right? Noir?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, okay,
Absolutely.
all right, cool.
Yep.
I thought so. All right. So when I was handing out posters for the first show, I walked into a tiny martial arts shop. You remember this? I walked into a tiny martial arts shop to give them my poster, and inside, the only other person in the store was John Morrison from the WWE, or Johnny Mundo, or Johnny Nitro, or Johnny TV, as he is now at AEW. And so I chatted with him about it for a minute, and he actually was instrumental in getting Kid Bandit on our first show. Which if you don't know her, she's amazing. She's a professional wrestler. And she's an anime protagonist through and through. And then I ran into him again the other day. I was out to dinner with my family, and he was at the same restaurant, and I was like, I'm just gonna be a jerk. So now we follow each other on Instagram. So I'm hoping one day I can get him on the show.
I never thought about mixing wrestlers up with this. This would.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
There's a show in Japan called Makai, which I think just means magic. Which is Hikaru Shida from AEW goes and does constantly, and it's I found out about them after I started doing this, but they are very similar to us, and it's very like, we're gonna talk about fighting and stuff in the ring, and then we're gonna do some wrestling matches and some like just straight up anime weapon fights.
Yeah, it's very high
great.
fantasy.
Yeah. Wait, you watch Makai?
I've caught a couple clips of it online. I haven't
God,
actually
it's so
watched the
good.
full episode yet, but it looks so freaking cool.
It's so cool. It taught me a lot for the league, because initially I was just doing like promos, like wrestling style, like, you want to know something, brother? But they showed me that you could do scenes as well. So our last show had like a bunch of like scenes on stage, as well as me cutting a promo on Mad Jack McCaslin.
So my question is this: how long does it take to choreograph the fight to the point where they perform it?
So from choreography to when they perform it, so it usually takes me like, I'm gonna say 2 to 3 hours, maybe 1 to 3 hours to choreograph it, and that's me either standing in this garage, sitting in this chair, or occasionally lying in my bed, going like, okay. And then writing that all down on an Excel spreadsheet. And then I send it to them, and we schedule 3 to 4 rehearsals. So I try to go to 4 if I can. Sometimes you can only get 3. But we get together at a public park here in Los Angeles, and run through the fight. Depending on who it is, I've had some people who've never done this before, so a lot of the early rehearsals are just like teaching the moves and the stances and things like that. And then I have other people who are, really experienced in it, and they'll go whole hog, from the first rehearsal, which is great. And so we'll do 2 or 3 of those. We break the fight into pieces. We learn the different phrases they're called, and then we put it all together. And then at the end of the night, we film it through once so everybody can have the video to look at and send it off. And then we go to the next rehearsal. And that's usually, getting those 4 rehearsals in, it's usually about a month-long process. For the show we've got coming up on May 4th, we're going to start rehearsals, I think, this coming week, I hope. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Wow. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that it reminds me a lot of our friend Lauren Danger. She actually teaches swords as well, but she teaches it from a historical standpoint.
HEMA, yeah.
Yeah, she does HEMA, but without a lot of the problematic, sexist, racist BS that comes with HEMA.
Good.
Why does that find its way every goddamn way?
Because a lot of these spaces are pervaded by cishet white males.
Yeah, we're terrible.
Yeah.
In general. It's true.
And here's the men are better than women stamp. Like, fucking relax, guy. Oh, I was good. Oh, I'm sorry. You asked your question. Like, I'm so sorry.
It's more of a commentary than anything. You can continue.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, like, one of the things about wrestling, like, that makes it fun to watch live is, they change things up, and they can change things up in the ring. Like, we've all watched the compilations where we can hear them like, lift me, like, that kind of stuff. Do you find that there's any room for that kind of thing in this, or like, is it for safety's sake, we have to keep it very close to the original way that it was written?
I would say it's about 70% keep it to the choreography because for safety, maybe even
Yeah.
75 or 80%. But there is room for stuff like that. People improv all the time in terms of like interacting with the crowd and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Uh, it was funny when we had Kid Bandit on because she was like, when we got to the space, she saw the whole space and she was like, "Oh, I can do, this, and I can jump off this, and I can." I was like, "That's not, please, please, we didn't choreograph for that, please, no." But
I
but
love wrestlers so
wrestling's
much.
so great. It was actually this is a really funny story. So when we were rehearsing, Kid Bandit and I, because we had a fight. At one point we were trying to figure out a move to put in one point because the move I'd come up with wasn't working. And like it was something that started with her back to me, so I was like, "Oh, what if I give you a Rainmaker?" And she was like, "Sure, I can show you how to do that." And I went for the clothesline, and um, in stunt stuff, I tighten my arm, but I make it go limp. I don't give them any resistance, and they do all the selling on their own. And she was like, "No, I need you to hit me. I need you to hit me hard so I can like bump off of it." And I was like, "What?" And so then we had that was like our first rehearsal, and then like 3 rehearsals later, she was just really worried about the safety, even though the swords were blunt. And I was like, "Well, what is it that you're worried about?" She's like, "Well, all those parts where I have to touch you with the sword, I'm afraid I'm going to hurt you." And I was like, "You, the parts where you have to what? The parts where you have to what?" Because every time she was like fake cutting me, she thought she had to actually touch me with the sword. Um, so I had to be like, "No, no, no, movie magic! Please don't cut my arm off."
I love wrestlers so much.
That's so great.
I'm glad you caught that early.
We caught it on the last rehearsal before the show. So my vengeance costume has a nice little cut on the along the stomach that I discovered later.
I love that. Wrestlers are a different breed.
They sure
I,
are.
I
They sure are.
I was in a game once with Athena, the wrestler Athena, and
Oh
she
yeah.
like broke something. It was like, sorry, I'm gonna be a little late, but I'll still be there. The rest of the cast had to be like, sit down.
What are you doing?
And then I went and watched where she hurt herself, and I'm like, you ain't gonna play Dungeons and Dragons.
How are you alive?
Show must go on, baby.
Oh man.
Wrestlers are built different.
Wrestlers are built different, and also built in like a toxic environment that tells you have to go on with the show
Yeah.
and push through everything, and
True.
but built different.
I appreciate this year as the year of the downfall of really just evil motherfuckers.
Yeah.
The fall of Vince McMahon. Oh,
Warm as the cockles of my heart.
We all knew for so long. Why did it take this long?
we knew so much, and then more came out, and
Because
we're like, it got worse.
It's because he was so well connected that he could just slip past any
he owned the company so hard. Like,
yeah.
When I was a kid, I was a stockholder in WWE, and I didn't actually own any stock in WWE. Like, that's all Vince.
Okay, so we've got the fall of Vince McMahon, which is fantastic. Now we've got the fall of P. Diddy, who's got the feds raiding his house, and it's just like these are all guys that we knew were I think the smartest thing. What's the guy who used to own Playboy?
Hugh Hefner?
Hugh Hefner. The smartest thing he ever did was die. Because you know this would be the year he got his ass.
Best thing you can do if you're an old white guy is die.
Well, it's not just white guy.
It's true.
Diddy's going down, and he's in the rumor is he's like, I'm taking Jay-Z with me.
Maybe that's what Beyonce's Jolene was about.
The rumor is Beyonce is distancing herself from Jay-Z.
Oh yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised because but
I don't know all the celebrity anymore.
I only know it because it's against my will. It happens on TikTok.
Yep.
And I get
It's like how I
stoned and I
learned
forget.
it's like how I learned the entire plot of Game of Thrones just through osmosis. I never watched an episode. I know everything that happened in that show against my
Honestly,
will.
I wish I was you because I was thoroughly invested. And it's just like I I feel like Game of Thrones feels like being in a bad relationship because it starts off great. It's like fantastic. It's like this is great. And then like it starts to get a little bad and you're like it's okay because it was so good and we're just having a dip. We're gonna go back to where it was. And then it's just
Nope.
like something else happens and it's just like oh okay. I can fix them.
I read the books, but when I got to the Red Wedding, I gave up. Like I flipped far enough in the book to make sure Arya was alive, and then I was like, "Cool, maybe I'll read this later." And then I never did.
Oh, that this the red wedding is so disrespectful. Like I at first I was like, oh, it's so good, and it's not good. It's just like let's introduce. It would be like if I had an actual play and I was just like, hey, this is the cast. Do you like these characters? Have you grown attached to them? Good. I'm killing all of them for no fucking reason. Welcome to the world, baby. Like,
This is realistic because everybody died a lot in medieval times. My bitch, you have dragons. It's like, come the fuck on.
Have you heard of the
Uh,
show Lost?
yeah, God, yes, Fluff or Fuffy, Fuffy,
Fluffy
Can I
butt.
say that?
fluffy butt.
Fluffy butt.
I luckily dodged the lost bullet. I never watched it.
The
I have
first
no
season of that
inclination.
show was one of the coolest things I've ever seen, and then man,
I watched the whole
man.
thing, start to finish.
I feel like Lost was the warning shot for J.J. Abrams' Star Wars.
Oh.
Okay, but I gotta push back on that a little bit because Force Awakens is fucking great. Star Trek 09 and Force Awakens are great. Abrams knows how to start shit. He has no idea how to finish shit.
You know what?
He
Okay,
brings
go
up,
ahead.
he asks too many questions and then he does not provide nearly enough answers.
Yeah, because he doesn't have the answers. That
Yeah.
was the problem with Lost too. He was like, we'll figure it out as we go. Like, no, my man, you got to have something, even if it's a crappy Ron Moore answer. It's got to be an answer.
I can understand why people like Force Awakens. I personally have so much beef with that movie in particular because they sold me a dream that had
Oh, yeah,
no
fair.
intentions
Fair.
of following through.
Fair.
There's so much promotional material with Finn holding that lightsaber like it's finna go down. It's like an ex stormtrooper
Yep.
becomes a Jedi, like slam dunk. And then
Absolutely 100% fair. And Force Awakens is also the one that ruined Finn for the rest of the trilogy because they put my man in a coma at the end of it, which meant that like then for Last Jedi, Ryan, who was amazing and wrote a brilliant movie, was
Thank
like,
you.
"Oh, I'll put him off somewhere else because he was in a because he was in a he was in a coma. We got to heal him up." And that just separated him from the plot.
yes.
And then the third movie, they were like, "Well, actually, maybe he is a Jedi, but we're never going to talk about it. We're gonna
Hey
leave
Ray,
that for
there's
the
something
Lego
very
specials."
important that I have to tell you in this crucial part of the movie that we will never return to.
Never ever.
I want to fist fight everybody involved with that decision.
Why not?
It's wild. I mean, it's one of the things that always bugs me about movies, and this is I'll bring up Pirates of the Caribbean as the example. Pirates of the Caribbean, the first one, brilliant freaking movie.
Loved
They
it.
go to make sequels. They keep the director and the cast. Great. They don't bring the writers back. They get new writers. They get a new composer. Like, if your first movie is Lightning in a Bottle, get the whole team back, man. Bring everybody in.
See,
Make
but the
sure you
problem
can
is they
capture the
know their
lightning.
worth now.
I
And so they're gonna
suppose.
they're gonna ask for oh, this movie made you a bajillion dollars. Can I get a little piece of that bajillion? No, it has to go to my bonus. I did such a good job hiring you.
Oh.
It's the same reason that Larian Studios isn't doing anything else with Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3, because it's just like you fired everybody. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I could.
Yeah.
This gonna be
No,
a rant.
the Wizard of the Coast rant is valid. I understand.
Wow. Anyway,
I have a couple more
uh,
questions that we need to get to before we hit our break. Yeah,
yeah, I don't know that. Oh no, we did get the third.
we
We
did get
did
the
get the
third.
third.
That was
Yeah,
10
we did.
million
Uh,
for the
You were just dealing with
resource
Vaughn.
budget.
yeah. So the next question that we ask is: you get to play with any 5 people that are alive, any game you want. Usually it's a tabletop game, but I'm gonna extend it for you. But they any 5 people, you don't count towards the 5, and they have to be alive, and you get to
Okay.
choose the game.
Okay.
And if it is a tabletop game, you get to choose the GM. What's your
Okay.
let's see what are you playing?
All right. I think let me start with the system. Because that'll be easier. To then pick the people. I think I'm trying to debate between. Okay, so my favorite TTRPG of all time is this game called Feng Shui, which is a brilliant, brilliant game. But I've played it a lot, and so like, Doc Crimbo says, "Spin the bottle with my only 5 friends." You know, you're not wrong. Oops. Let's see. So okay. I think I'm gonna be a basic bitch and say I want to play a Star Wars game. I don't know what Star Wars system. Uh maybe Star Wars 5e just because that seems cool. Actually, there's a game called Rebel Scum that's a Star Wars with the serial numbers filed off, but it's explicitly a game about fighting fascism, which could be fun. So let's say that. Let's say Rebel Scum. Um, let's see. I'm gonna continue the basic bitchery here and say that I want Brennan Lee Mulligan to DM.
Hell yeah.
You know.
Listen, if I had the chance, I'd take it too.
Yep. But then I want to play with I want to mix it up between like famous role players and people I just think would be cool to have at the table. So I'm gonna start with Lou Wilson. Um, and I'm gonna hope we get him a character that gives him an opportunity to dress up. I'm gonna then I'm gonna go to um let's say I want to put Sam Witwer in there. It might be annoying because his knowledge of Star Wars is so deep that he might be like, you know, he might be like Dave. Yeah, he might be like Henry Cavill on the set of The Witcher. But you know, but it could be really fun. He's a really cool guy. I'm gonna do.
That man's got the sharpest cheekbones I've ever seen.
So sharp.
So
lightsaber, man.
I'm just man, just so hot. Anyway, sorry. Please continue.
Okay, all right. Then I'm gonna throw in I'm gonna throw in Christina Ariel. Because I think she would be kick ass in that, and I've seen her do stuff live. And let's see, we're at 3 already out of like 5, including me. Probably go 6 just so I can include some more people. I think I would throw Sam DeLev in there, obviously.
Yeah.
And the wonderfulness of it all.
I don't know why, but Sam DeLev playing with Sam Witwer is all that I want now that you've mentioned it.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
those two together.
All Sams.
All Sams all the time.
Oops,
well,
all
then you know
Sams.
what? Screw it. I'm gonna throw in Sam Reich too. I don't know if he role plays much, but let's get him in there for the Samness of it all.
All right, so we have Brendan Lee Mulligan. We've got Sam Witwer. We've got Lou Wilson, Sam DeLev, Sam Reich, and Sam Witwer.
Yes, all the Sams.
That was a lot of Sams.
you
Mike
mentioned Sam Witwer twice. That's why it was so many.
Buffy Budget
Okay.
also suggested Sam Jackson.
Oh my god. It's anybody. I didn't widen the circle that much. Absolutely. We're putting Sam Jackson at the table too. I have often said, and this is only sort of related,
Brennan
But I
Lou
have
and
often
Four
said,
Sams.
yeah. Yeah, Brennan Lee Mulligan and Lou Wilson, absolutely a package deal. While we're at a break because I broke Noir, I should probably do my community manager duty here.
Oh
At
yeah.
CalMG, all of that stuff was announced. It was on Twitter, it was on Facebook, it was on the forums. So everybody had a chance to know about it. Don't worry.
Wait, what just
Anyway,
happened?
there was a question that was specifically about STO, and
Wondering why
Oh,
no news on ArcSite advertising
oh my
the
God!
STO console anniversary. They
They
found
found
you.
oh, they find me. I mean, I did post on Twitter that I was going to be here,
That's true.
so you know.
so
But
funny.
they will always find me, especially when they mad about something.
Don't forget to stretch, posture check, and hydrate, folks.
Oh,
Ooh, yes.
oh my God! I'm sorry. I know that's not funny, but it is.
No,
kinda
it's funny.
because
You're right.
we were talking about that at the beginning.
Yep.
It's all the time. It's
The call
forever.
is coming from inside the house. Oh.
I'm trying to think of like what other jobs are you like kind of always on duty, and it's like doctor, firefighter, cop, community manager.
Yep. Oh.
Oh God, that's funny. I have to say I am obsessed with the Nina shirt. The print is fantastic. Oh, it is adorable.
I got it from
This is
Amazon.
100% true. I both love and hate when that happens.
Like I mean I gotta imagine that it's flattering, but also it's
Yeah.
just like, come on, man, I don't want to be at work right now.
Yeah. Oh no, I meant when I see somebody with a really cool piece of clothing and I'm like, that's awesome. Where'd you get it? And they were like, I got it on Amazon. And I'm like, I could have found that 3 weeks ago.
It's a men's shirt too. So I just
Beautiful.
Yeah, except I'm too
buttons are on
fat
the
to
wrong
wear it,
side.
so
I feel your pain, brother.
I know, right?
All of the people in my league show except me are like these super fit, hot people. And then there's me.
Like, do you know how frustrating it is to be in a relationship where you're like the big guy and your partner can wear all your shirts and your partner has shirts you wish you could wear, but you're too thick boy to wear.
Yep.
It
Yes, I
sucks.
do.
Hey, hey, Corn Dog. Hey, AJ. All right, so that brings us to our next segment, which is signature move. So we usually do this first half as a player character, second half as a GM. So, as a player character, what do you feel you bring to the table that's better than most?
Oh, I thought you were gonna ask me about a wrestling finisher.
I mean, what would you know what time out. Forget this whole segment for a hot second. Are there signature moves in League of Swords? Because I think I remember in WMAC they had like special moves.
I gotta look into how they did that in the YouTube shorts that like aren't filmed live. We definitely have magical powers going around. But I haven't figured out how to do them on stage with no budget yet. I'll figure it out.
You could always do the Power Rangers method, which you just have pyro go in the back and
Yeah,
people like
just
20 feet away just.
Ah! Listen,
Uh.
don't talk nasty about the quarry fights. All right? That one quarry in Japan that every season of Super Sentai and Kamen Rider has 40 episodes.
They fought in the same place.
Yep.
every
It's really
time.
funny if you watch those shows because you can tell where in Tokyo they have like where they got permission to shoot fight scenes because it's like it's always the same warehouse, it's always the same staircase, it's always the same plaza, it's always the same quarry.
Oh, I'm gonna be calling that out now, and
Yep.
it's either gonna make things better or worse when I watch them. But now I'm changing the question and giving you two of them, which is what's your signature move as a PC, and what would your signature move be as a wrestler or League of Swords League of Swordsman?
Thank you so much for asking. I've always wanted someone to ask me what a wrestling signature move would be, and I've been prepared with this answer since I read a Spider-Man comic in 1996 or something. My finishing move is called the Break from Society, and it is a running blockbuster where you run towards the guy, jump and do a flip over their head and grab their head on the way down. I came up with it when I was a child, and now people have started to use it in wrestling, and that makes me happy.
You know,
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm gonna spread the cluster real quick because this is fun. But Anita, what would your super move? What your signature move be?
That's a reverse Canadian destroyer.
A reverse? God damn!
Hold on, let me.
So
fucking
like,
look
wait,
this
you
up.
Look
start
up what the
facing the
Canadian
other way, and you
destroyer
do a
is.
backflip.
Yeah, you do
Yeah, no,
backflip
you do
instead.
a reverse backflip. Oh my god, have people done that?
I don't think so.
I'm gonna. Wow, yeah, that would kill a man.
Yeah.
Now I have to look
I
up
just love the
reverse
Canadian destroyer, and I think throwing a reversal on it would be.
Yeah, that would be, dear God in heaven.
Listen, I've been a wrestling fan since I was a wee bairn. My brother actually was trained with Al Snow to
Oh
learn to be a professional wrestler. He was
That's
in the
cool.
leagues in Calgary for a little
yeah,
bit.
very cool. That is awesome.
And Mars, I need to try that on me later.
Ultimate uppies.
The final uppie. I finally found what it
Lordy,
is.
Lordy, what a hell of a way to die.
God damn. Okay.
Yeah, I had that one. I've had that one in the tank for a minute.
You had that ready to
that
go.
is
Yeah.
great.
Both
So
of your
Noir, what's
answers make-
yours?
Both of your answers make my. I
swear to God, if you say
I
you can
like the
fucking clothesline or
buckshot.
something.
Like the buckshot lariat.
The buckshot Larry is just my.
No,
I
I'm not
just,
laughing at you. I literally just said, I swear to God, if you say a clothesline of something.
I just it's so stupid, but it's
Yes.
like I'm gonna go on the other side of the rope, do an unnecessary flip over the rope, and just hit your shit. Ah!
Hey, you know what? It's such a cool move that CM Punk can't fucking do it.
listen. Hey now,
This is actually a question of the dice crunch level. Are we on the fuck CM Punk train or not?
I don't know if you can see what that side says.
The
fucking side says Chicago. And by law,
by law.
I don't like you have somebody in your family that sucks, but like their family. Like, are y'all right about what you say about CM Punk? Yes.
Is he
But he's
still
ours.
Chicago made?
He's
still ours. We wish he would shut the fuck up and go away.
But he's still ours.
But he's still ours. It hurts. It hurts because every time he comes back, and it's like, this is gonna be the time. This is gonna be the time, and he's not gonna fuck it up. And then consistently, 2 weeks later, every time he fucks it up, and it's just like,
the only reason he hasn't in WWE yet is because he broke his damn arm.
He hasn't had the time on screen to do it yet.
Exactly.
I will say this about CM Punk. CM Punk shows how much Chicago loves wrestling, because the only reason that CM Punk is still a thing is because hell or high water, he will get a pop.
Let it go.
He will get a pop in Chicago. And so we need a good wrestler from Chicago. Like, Seth Rollins breaks my heart because he loves Chicago and we love him, but he's not from here.
Yeah.
And he says his wrestling school is in Chicago, but it's not. Like, if he just lived here.
I'd say Colt Cabana, but he's from Deerfield.
It doesn't count.
No, it doesn't count.
But
That'd
also,
be like, that'd be like somebody from Naperville trying to be a Chicago wrestler. That doesn't count.
Yeah.
I'm from Schaumburg, and I'm a Chicago wrestler. No, you're from Schaumburg. Shut up. We can tell the difference.
I
But
had,
he is
if I was
he
ever
is
gonna
built
be,
from Chicago. He's built from Maxwell Street, actually.
oh,
We'll see. CM Punk just breaks my fucking heart because I run into people like you and you're like CM Punk sucks and I can't go you're wrong. I just gotta go. I agree
but I also
reluctantly.
have to fight you.
Like how dare you tell me the truth at me?
Listen, we could just go back to calling him Philip if you want.
I do sometimes, not as much as I call Joanne, but
Like CM Punk sucks so bad that he made me like Drew McIntyre. Do you understand that?
Okay,
Do
you gotta understand about Drew McIntyre though. This is the most important thing that you have to know about Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre is hot as fuck.
He is.
He always has been, even when he was a little skinny bitch. But now that he's like fully bumped up, like, good lord.
Listen, his shtick was he came out with a sword. That's dumb. It's dumb unless you're gonna use it. No.
Fucking excuse me?
You didn't listen to the second part. It's dumb unless you're going to use. Listen, if you come out with a sword and you don't use it, it makes me mad. It's like I'm gonna wrestle, but here's a sword. Like listen, when Triple H came out with a sledgehammer,
you thought
that sledgehammer went to work, right?
Yep.
Drew McIntyre comes out with a sword. Tell me one time he's ever used it.
You know, honestly, when I was doing e-fedding as a kid, do you all know what e-fedding is? I assume Anita does, since you've been a wrestling fan your whole life. Yeah, okay. So e-fedding, online wrestling, that kind of thing. There was a battle royale where everybody could choose their own weapon to bring, and so of course I brought a sword because I'm that guy.
Yeah.
But I lost to a guy who brought a 12-foot dildo.
I mean,
you know, sometimes you win some, you lose some.
He was prepared to fuck. All I'm saying is like I would have appreciated him using like a hilt bash as part of his deal or something. He just comes out with a sword and we hear a bunch of bagpipes that nobody asked for, and then he just stands there.
They should have stuck with his first theme. His first theme is so fucking good.
But now he's become an internet troll. And he's trolling CM Punk, and it's my favorite thing in WWE right now.
It's so good.
He's so good. He was.
If he and Nia Jax ever, not Nia Jax, if him and Nyla Rose ever got together, the world of the internet would end.
Nyla Rose is such a troll online. It's hilarious.
He's great. He's so good.
He was 15 minutes away from us on Monday at a bakery called Mindy's that CM Punk loves, just to talk shit about the bakery.
Oh yeah, that's the one that Punk ate the muffins from during Brawl Out.
Yeah.
Great.
I was like, son of a bitch. That's good trolling.
That's excellent.
Speaking
trolling.
of trolls, I'm gonna direct Noir to Corndog and Doc in the comments section, who are both claiming that they're from Chicago, the Chicago suburb of Minneapolis.
Noir, I think you froze there for a minute. Your connection okay? You see what I'm talking about with us and our audience? Because now I want to fight them.
Neighbors!
No, we're not neighbors.
They're from the same place. They're from Chicago.
Y'all are...
You know, listen.
Provide hot dog proof.
But anyway, you all know I'm in Chicago right now.
Listen, don't lie to me. Don't you lie to me. Don't get my hopes up.
Oh,
Corndog, fight me, I dare you.
Well, if you're in Chicago, you should be able to come here and you can fight me. Oh, we never got.
We will put that live on pay-per-view. Oh, Holmes and or Watson is baby.
He's gonna
That's
start biting my hand.
Holmes.
Okay.
He's
This is
a
Holmes.
dickhead. He's the one that dropped all the chicken on the floor thinking I wouldn't notice. Oh,
They always think they're so subtle. Anyway, yeah, sorry, you had a question.
oh yeah, your signature as a player.
So I know for a fact, especially because I've role played with the Stream Punks, that I'm not quite on the level of creating super deep drama. I'm getting there. I had some real good scenes in this werewolf game that I'm in. I cried. The other guy cried. It was great. He gave me a whole speech about being a father. It was real moving. But I think the thing that I bring most to the table, better or not, is that I'm fucking hilarious. I you put me in front of an audience and I have jokes for days. I don't know if they're jokes that everybody likes, but I got them.
No, I can agree on that. I've played with you.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Oh God, I I think what the way I'll describe it, if I may, is like I feel like a lot of people are afraid to like take a swing at a joke, and you are fearless with the humor, and that is so necessary at times because sometimes how do I put this nicely? Sometimes actual players can like the smell of their own farts a little too much. It like get a little pretentious, and it's just like it's nice to have somebody remind us, like, hey, this is pretend. We're having fun here.
Yeah.
like so I really appreciate that when I play with you. Uh Anita, what other segments do we have, or is it time for our break before we go to
For the
the
first half,
dark
we've got our
roast?
player signature move. We've got our Chrono, our 5 people, and our God Emperor. We do not have any more segments for this, but I will take a
Okay.
second
Okay.
before we hop on break to say, if you haven't already, feel free to check out the Morning Ritual Patreon. You can get some behind the scenes stuff as soon as I get around to adding, and you help support the show. So check it out.
Yeah, we're gonna start doing
Give 'em some
watch parties and the
money.
like.
All that you
Yeah.
got. Give 'em
Give
the
us your fucking money,
money,
or
or
the cat
Yoda will get
gets it.
shot.
No.
We're not fucking around. The other thing I was gonna ask one last question before we go on
Yeah,
break.
for sure, sure.
Sure.
You were talking about one of your wishes was like 10 billion for League of Swords. I wanted to know what would you do with that?
I think the first thing I would do is I would hire some professional like set designers around here and build a like no, sorry, wait. First thing I would do is get all of my performers on contract with health insurance and all that shit.
Hell
Second
yeah.
thing I would do is hire like some good Hollywood set designers to build a piece of like portable set that's something you could bring to any space that's got like a custom, ring for us, like got like backdrops, makes it look all funky and weird, good lighting, things like that. And hire a whole bunch of production staff and then I don't know, pay YouTube to make me the #1 video. You do that? Is that a thing you can do?
It is. That's how the Pauls got in our life. And we can't get rid of them. I like that. And there's one last thing I wanted to say before we go to break, which is this. I feel like League of Swords is coming at the perfect time because you can't really ethically go to medieval knights right now
No.
because they're not paying their people.
Yep.
But if you still want some live sword fighting, there is now
Right here for
an
you, babe.
option. So I'm just saying, like, while we're on break, you can check out our best of here, or you can hop over to the YouTube link that I just dropped, and make sure that you subscribe to League of Swords. Check out their videos because that's what I'm gonna be doing. And we'll see you in about 10. That sound good
10
to y'all?
minutes.
All right, we'll see y'all in 10.
We're going to do a little bit something different on the break. We're actually going to play some videos that AJ took while at Big Bad Con last year.
Oh,
Ooh.
hell yeah.
God, I miss Big Bad Con. That show is
Yeah,
so
I've never been, and I never get selected for their scholarship
Yep.
because they don't like me.
Well, we will see you back here in about 10 minutes.
All right.
And we're back.
Woo!
All right, and welcome to the Dark Roast. Oh, it's my favorite part of the show. It's honestly more of the same. We just gave it a sex mag.
I like it. I like it a lot. I was also as I was looking at the Twitch as we were coming back. I was noticing, I'm in some good company. Y'all have had some amazing guests on here, and
Yeah.
Eric Campbell.
I'm sending somebody clipping. I'm sending that to Eric. Let's get it popping.
I love you, buddy.
Man, I honestly, I don't know why people say yes.
You're amazing. That's why.
You're both amazing.
Yes, you. But we start off.
The part of the show where we talk about Arizona iced tea cans.
All right, I need to explain that. Our last guest, Christian, told me that Arizona iced tea cans, excuse me, were now $1.20.
Jesus Christ.
And that broke something in me fundamentally because Arizona was like the one stalwart guard against corruption, against greed, against all of it. It was the one. It was the
You
one
were the
lighthouse.
chosen one.
And so, after they mentioned that, I shut down and I just went research mode. And what we found out is that is not true. They're still 99 cents.
Oh, thank
And their snitch program is still going. If you're not familiar with the snitch program, please let me tell you about it.
God. Please.
If you find somebody that is selling Arizona iced teas for more than 99 cents, there is a program where you can send the picture of the can, how much they charge you to Arizona iced tea. They'll reimburse you and pull their product from whatever shop is doing that because it's supposed to be 99 cents.
The $1.29 was because it's because Canada.
Mhm.
Ah, I see.
So Arizona is still out here protecting righteousness and virtue and the poor the way we're supposed to.
We need
It's
a
too bad
99
it's
cent
only
can
cold
emote.
leaf juice.
All right.
What'd you say?
Which one of us?
You.
I said it's too bad it's just cold leaf juice.
You know, I'll accept it because of what it means, man. Because of what it means.
Fluffy Butt is saying that we need a 99 cent can emote.
Yeah,
That's a great idea.
I will fund it. I will fund because look, Arizona could easily go, we're gonna raise the price to $1.50, and their profits would go up. But I'm trying not to go into the spiel again. I really am. But they looked at greed and they said no. They chose the people, and that's what matters.
You know what you guys should do instead of the emote? You should just have random Arizona iced tea commercials spliced into your streams. And every time you just open a door and it's Cerveza Crystal. Oh, I'm sorry.
Listen. If I got a sponsorship with Arizona iced tea, I could die happy. Not because I love Arizona iced tea. They're good. Listen, if you're thirsty, it gets the job done. But it means that they saw the good in me that they projected to the world, and that's the closest I can get to being knighted as an American. It means I represent the virtue of Arizona iced tea, and I would wear that as a badge of honor.
Send this clip to Arizona iced tea on all socials. See if we can get a sponsorship from someone, anyone. If it's Arizona iced tea, incredible.
That would be great. But those we'll also take. Me speaking of, we'll also meaning League of Swords. We'll also take Buddy's roadside iced tea stand. Like, you got $5? We'll take it.
Paladin Oath of Arizona iced tea.
We need to make you some Arizona iced tea armor.
Yeah, I'd wear it. I'd wear it proudly. And when I die, I'd get a 7-can salute. It's just 7 cans in Arizona being open simultaneously.
I was gonna say we shake them up, but it's not Soda.
It's not carbonated because they're always chill. Uh, this this is the dark roast, and we start the dark roast off with a segment that might end up being a little spicy this week. To be quite honest with you, it's called Petty Prime Time. Um,
Oh.
Petty Prime Time is where you get to subtweet IRL. Um, and of course, we always set the expectations that we have for our guests. So Anita's gonna go first and let us know what this looks like.
What petty primetime looks like? Oh god, there's
Mhm.
so much to be petty about this week.
Do it. All of it.
There's so much. Where do I even begin? Oh boy.
You know what? I'm actually ready if you want me to go
Yeah,
first.
I'd say you go first. I was stuck googling Arizona iced tea nights, and I found someone with a Warhammer mini.
Of course.
And I'm just gonna post this in chat.
Let me see what this looks like. Oh my
Click
god!
over. Click. It's the great
Yes,
guy 99 cents for me.
Absolutely. Oh my god. That is the only Imperial model that I will accept.
Yeah, I would rock that. I would rock that.
Uh-huh.
All right, here's my petty prime time. Ooh, I've already started. If you peep my Twitter, I've already started spicy today, so I'm just gonna keep it going. Man, we have this week seen the fall of someone that was perpetuated as someone that was propped up as being uh uh uh, uh a star in the TTRPG space, somebody that purported themselves to be an ally and all these good things. They knew all the right things to say. And then when the light got shined on them, uh, we learned that they fell very short to what they projected to the public. I would like for us to learn a lesson from that and to watch who is speaking right now and to look at it with a critical eye. Now, I've already posted
You
on
heard it here
my.
first, folks. Look at Noir with a critical eye.
Yeah, look at me with the critical. Listen, I have made some fuck ups in my life. I have made some fuck ups personally. I can tell you for sure I have not cheated on my partner, mainly because Anita frightens me, and I made the mistake of having a lot of weapons in my house. We are polyamorous. I do have another partner. Anita is aware of that partner because Anita has to be, because again, the aforementioned weapons. But all I'm saying is this. Black folks are not a monolith. When one person sins, not all of us sin. And when one person says, "Oh, talking this way about black people in the space is bad," you don't have to listen to that one person because they don't make the rules for black folks. All right, I'm just saying, be critical, be open-minded, be understanding, and always be aware. Because at the end of the day, folks are trying to make money off of eyeballs, and they will do or say whatever is necessary to get those eyeballs on them. I am also the same. I am telling you this. I need your eyeballs to get that Arizona sponsorship. But but so always be wary of what I'm selling or pitching or saying to you, and be wary of everybody else, because I don't want to see anybody expose themselves to hurt like this anymore. If somebody uses clout to try and get into your bed, that is a warning sign. Don't listen to that fucking
Red
person.
flag.
Okay? Protect yourself at all times. It's boxing rules, baby. And also just be cautious of your faves. And remember, parasocial relationships are exactly that. Parasocial. They don't know you. You don't know them. They don't owe you anything. You don't. And most importantly, you don't owe them anything. If your fave ever makes you feel like shit, understand you're their boss. They make money because you pay attention to them. You want to know what you can do? You can fire them by unfollowing, unsubscribing, and watching somebody else. You have that power. Never forget you are not powerless. That is my petty prime time.
I like it. I like it a
I
lot.
like it a lot. That's a good one.
So that I understand the format, a petty prime time is where we just cut subtweet promos.
Yeah.
Yeah!
Okay, great.
I should have went more Macho Man with it. I'll tell you this
Let me
much.
tell you something.
Your fiends are sucking the blood out of you if they make you feel bad.
Relationships are not a real relationship, brother.
Oh, yeah!
Oh yeah. I actually saw a comedian once who
I know his
who
name.
did he did his entire set in a Macho Man voice because it was at a wrestling show, and so he was like, "I'm just gonna do
Dan
Macho Man
Soder.
for the whole thing." No, this guy's name was Dash Kwiatkowski, but
Oh, shit.
yeah, that's cool. I didn't know Dan Soder also did that.
Dan Soder does the best Macho Man impression.
Okay, I think I've got mine.
Oh, okay, go for it.
Nice.
Don't ghost people. Like if somebody's like a creep, like cool, you can ghost them. But if somebody is like not a creep, and they reach out to you for something, they were a friend, they want to hang out with you, they want you to work with them on a project, something like that. Don't ghost them. Just say, no, it's okay. I can't do that right now. I don't have time. Trust me, we like that a lot better. It's worse when it's a friend thing. And there's I've had some people who are lovely people do this and then apologize to me later and explain they were all anxious, and I love those people. But like, still, if somebody's like, "Hey, do you want to hang out?" and you write nothing back, even if it's months later, write something back just to be like, "Whoops, my bad," or like, "I don't have time to do that," or like anything. Please. No is better than silence. No is always better than silence. Again, this does not apply to creeps and people who don't deserve your time. Those people, you can ghost all the hell. But, you know.
Remember I said, your faves fuck up? This is a sin that I have committed, and I'm trying to get better. I have done this one. I need to get better. That's a good call out.
That's okay. You respond to me all the time, so you know.
I mean, how can I not, man? We can talk about Highlander forever. Like, talk about sword fighting. You know, WMAC. Like, let's fucking go.
I love this because it's on theme for this stream. My wife just messaged me on Discord to be like, "Hey, did you feed the cats?"
I made sure that I did that on break because they were behaving like absolute dickheads, and now they're perfectly calm and sleeping on the bed.
I fucking hate them so much sometimes.
Mine wake up in the morning. I have 3. They wake up in the morning I wake up in the morning and they're outside the bedroom door. They know not to come in, but they are waiting for us. And as soon as we come out, like 2 of them sprint downstairs while mewing at the top of their lungs. And then our older cat is like, if I nuzzle your legs while you walk downstairs, you'll probably trip and die, but that's a risk that I'm willing to take.
Correct. I love that.
Oh, Anita, now it's on you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I forgot to throw my catchphrase in.
Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Do it. Yeah.
Well, I actually do have a catchphrase. It's it came up with it when I was a kid. I still use it in League of Swords. It's the age of outcasts is coming.
I need a catchphrase.
You do.
I thought your catchphrase was arugula.
No, that's
arugula.
Arugula.
I need to explain. When I was when I was younger, I would get hit in video games, and I would say "fuck," which obviously would get me in trouble. So I needed to find another word to say when my character took damage or something surprising happened in video games, and for whatever reason, it's arugula. And that has stuck with me, and I don't even realize I
Fabulous.
do it. So like, I will be in a game of Helldivers with somebody, and like something will happen, and I'll just yell, "Arugula!"
Bile Titan comes around the corner. Arugula!
Sam, it is definitely arugula with several U's.
I man, I love coming up with fake swear words because I try not to swear in front of my kid as much. I still do all the time. But my favorite one is still replacing God damn it with Matt Damon.
Oh, I'm gonna take that. I'm walking away with that one. Your soul is mine on that one. All right, Anita, we bought you some time. Let's look what you got.
Mine's sort of a little branch off of Mikey's. If if you ghost me in the DMs, I'm gonna assume you got something to hide. Because the morning ritual ghost list to
Oh, you're
reveal
right.
to be a bad person list. It's currently batting high numbers.
I think we're bad to 100.
I think we're batting 100. If I find another way to get reach out to you though, and like you can get back to me that way, you're clear. You're good. But like, we're batting 100 on people that get canceled getting invited on the show.
So what we're all saying here is that this show is the canary in the coal mine. If somebody hasn't been on Morning Ritual, they're probably a bad person. Just for the whole human race.
I mean, I'll give you the first 3 people to ghost us in order. Ready? And Anita, you tell me if I'm wrong on this one. The first one to ghost us was Satine Phoenix.
Correct.
The second one to ghost us was Swords Fall.
Correct.
And the third person to ghost us was Gay.
Correct.
Brilliant.
Now,
that's less of a subtweet. This is more of a tweet.
That's a straight up tweet.
We're
tagging him today.
Here.
I don't give a fuck.
His name is Mike.
No, not you, Mike. But
just come on the show and
a vendetta against people named Mike, as evidenced in our GenCon live show last year. But not you, Mike. You're good.
Okay, what happened at your GenCon live show last year?
We had a conversation about people that bullied us in high school, and I name dropped one of my bullies.
I told you, I love this segment because it gets buck wild. But let's see. I gotta get on board the ritual. I swear I'm a good person. We haven't had Corn Dog on
We
yet?
have not had Corn Dog on.
Hey, yeah, we gotta get Corn Dog.
Corn Dog, hit me up in the DMs. I'll get you on.
Honestly, I need y'all to understand, like, if you haven't been on the show, it's probably because either I thought you already were on the show.
Listen, we've had 127, 29
or I just
guests.
Forgot to ask, honestly. But that brings us to our next segment, which is also just as fun as this one, if you ask me, which is the TTRPG confessional. Now, this is where if you bring a habit to the table that's not exactly the greatest, this is where you can confess. We give you your penance, you say a couple of Helabrias, and then you get on out of here.
Don't deify anyone, but say a couple of Halabria.
I know, right? Listen, Abria, if you do anything, it'll break my... Listen.
Yeah.
My entire existence on this earth relies on 2 things. One, Arizona iced tea is the last bastion of kindness and goodness for humanity. And 2, Abria is not a terrible person. If any one of these
say
things...
Abria is not a terrorist.
Listen, if Abria's a terrorist, that's fine. Down with
Oh.
America. I'm for it. But it's like, if we find out like a Bria tornado kicks puppies, I'm gonna vanish. I'm
Yeah.
just simply
Just
gonna
gonna
cease
disappear
to
into the. Oh man,
Uh,
listen, I was a huge stan of Chris Hardwick once upon a time, so there's so
oh
little of me
my
left.
god.
There's so little of me left.
Oh my. I have not heard that name in
It's a long time.
It's so
Deservedly
long.
so.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I-
AJ,
I-
I was talking with Christian about this. If something bad comes out of Bria and Lou, I'm quitting and deleting all socials.
Yeah, yeah, leave it.
Don't
We're
even
done.
play with Lou Wilson like that.
Nuke it from orbit, to be sure. Sam said in chat that a presence on Morning Ritual does not guarantee being a good person because they've been on Ritual. Sam, no, I think you're proving my point.
No, we have had some baddies that slipped through the cracks that have
Oh,
made
yeah.
it. Sam is not one of them, but there are some episodes that you will never see again.
Oh God, we have a Star Wars narrative podcast that we're doing. It's this show called Yavin Radio. It's an improv podcast. It's hilarious. Y'all should come on it sometime.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
But we did an episode where we brought on a character who's a parody of a right-wing nut job. And I'm listening to it as we're recording it, and I'm like, we're making fun of this guy. My character is physically punching him in the face over and over. And yet I still don't know if we could ever release this episode.
Well, I mean, listen, I think when it comes to satire like that, you just gotta bite the bullet that there is gonna be a group of people that will miss the joke, because I have never seen people miss the point harder than with Helldivers. Like,
oh my God.
Helldivers is all about fascism and how it's taken over and how we're the baddies. And people are like, hell yeah, spill oil. I get it on the joking side of things. Like, I'm also like that. When I'm playing Helldivers, these bugs gotta fucking go.
Yeah. For
I gotta
democracy,
deal with these
freedom.
goddamn clankers. But I could say it. I'm half robot.
I got a lot of robot friends.
I got a metal plate in my arm. It's just as good.
Awful lot of tan skins in this motherfucker. No, my cousin is dating a robot. I'm sorry, I forgot where I was going with this. I just like being
you were talking
racist.
about how people miss the point of satire.
Yes,
and I was
they
going to say
miss
there are
the
people
point.
who think that the Imperium of Man are the good guys in 40K. Like, no, you idiots.
They're really not. There's only one side. There's only one faction in 40K that I would consider to have been the good guy, and they were only the good. Oh my god. I was gonna say the Tau, but the Tau were good. The Tau were good guys for like 5 minutes, and then they got introduced to everything else. It was just like, can't be a good guy to survive. Fuck this. Oh, you guys need to step up your 40K knowledge. Anyway, I say all that to say, some people will forever miss the point. There are still people out there that want to be Rick Sanchez or Tyler Durden.
Yeah. What was it?
You gotta
it's from
understand,
Darby.
it's a
If you
very-
think you're Rick, you're Jerry.
Yes.
That was from our very own Chaotic Darby. If you think you're Rick, you're Jerry.
Love it.
Beautifully done. But yeah, tabletop confession.
Oh right, yeah, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
I will have Anita go first.
Yeah, I can go first on this one.
Okay.
I have a problem giving my players a little too much autonomy when it comes to combat, in that they find a way to circumvent it or scale down the combat before we even get into it.
This doesn't sound like a problem.
Well, I mean, they asked for so we were, I'll just say the example. We're in our Avatar Legends game on Thursday. They were in a museum trying to some airbender artifacts found their way back to the Air Nation after the 100-Year War. The Fire Nation was repatriating them, but they had them in a museum on display versus like a show of goodwill in Republic City. That's the backstory. So our team found out that one of the triads that has been smuggling airbender artifacts through the city and using business fronts to do it, had a plan to strike this museum to take them and like sell them to the highest bidder kind of deal. So they're there to stop them. They find it doesn't belong in a museum, but this was one of those times where it's like being held in a museum temporarily before it gets put back in its rightful place. You know, it's a reverse Indiana. So they kept calling it a reverse heist, which made me feel like, anyways, I'm getting off point. The point is that they were like, is there anything in the environment that we could use to like trap people without like damaging the exhibit? Because they want to make sure that everything that is in here, like the scrolls or like the artifacts, stays safe. And I'm like, okay, if you look up on this, I'm like, they rolled high. I'm like, okay, you look up on the ceiling and you see that there's cages that are meant for like feeding flying lemurs. So you can, they probably fit like one person, maybe two, and you've got three of them hanging from the ceiling. And they're like, okay, would we be able to use that as a trap when they walk under it to trap the people that are coming in? And I'm like, you know what? Sure. But to their credit, it worked, and they managed to take out pretty much all the goons by trapping them under the cages. So they were kind of just left with the big bad, and they managed to turn the big bad's lieutenant to their side, because they had encountered him previously. And so they pretty much like washed my boss fight in like maybe 2 rounds of combat. So I'm too good at giving them setups that help them circumvent combat. I'm not very good at like being tactical, I guess.
That makes sense.
All right. My penance for you is to remember that the bad guys are as smart as the good guys. So
that's gonna be tough because they're real smart and I'm real dumb.
No, but I'm just saying before it gets to, you don't want to do this too often, but if your players are like, hey, I noticed the thing, can we use the environment against them? If this is a combat that is meant to be a little bit more difficult, Anita might not have thought of that, and the players bringing that to mind now informs Anita of that. Because you're now informed of that, you can have the bad guys have thought of that as well. So them asking could then create the response to it as well.
So I did have
that being said,
okay.
Go ahead.
Careful not to run into. I've been listening to a lot of Adventures on Steeplechase lately, and one of the things that one of the traps that Justin McElroy falls into a lot is his players will come up with ideas, and then his response is always like, well, you can't do that. And you could, if you're doing a lot of the I thought of that too, you can run into the you can't do that, like train, the anti-railroad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm a
that's
Cylon
why I
and
say
I have a plan. Thank you, Eric.
and that's why I say like only do it if it's meant to be a tough fight. If it's just like an encounter, let the bad guys get washed. But like if it's meant to be tough, you can do that. And also, my favorite thing is you can have your fights go in phases, which is like I'm playing a lot of Midnight Suns.
Oh god, that game is so good. Sorry, please continue.
The only reason I'm playing it is because it's on PlayStation Plus for free, and I'm like, okay, and it's really fucking good. I didn't expect it. Midnight Suns has a pretty simple solution to this. Oh man, you beat that first wave pretty easily. Here's 6 more.
Yep.
So
Okay.
So there you go.
More bad guys.
All right.
Gotcha.
More bad guys.
More
just
bad
more.
guys coming in later, and if you're really going for Midnight Suns, worse bad guys coming in later. Like, oh, you barely survived that first 2 rounds. Here's Sabretooth.
I haven't gotten that far yet, and now I'm afraid. Um, I will do my confession next.
Okay.
I have discovered this the more I play the Marvel multiverse system, which is I have a habit of falling in love with DMPCs. In our last Tuesday game at Stream Punks, the party of Anita and Sam's characters were being essentially like tutorial level introed into the game with Daredevil. And I just had so much fun playing Daredevil. but it got to the point where there had to be a natural handoff, and it was hard. And one of the things that I've kind of been in my head about, and kind of like, was that appropriate to do? When I say appropriate, I mean I didn't disrespect anybody's boundaries. There was a really cool moment between Anita's character and Sam's character where they did a team move of the fastball special, and Daredevil Billy clubbed onto Sam's character's wheelchair because Sam is playing a Wheeler Speedster, which is just the coolest fucking thing.
Awesome.
And so it became a fastball special, but 2 fastballs with 1 pitch. I thought, just in my head visually, that looks cool as shit. But the further away I get from that moment, the more I'm like, did I take away from my player's moment because I like this DMPC? Like, was that fair to do? So that is my confession. Sometimes I feel as though like there's a part of me that's just like, me too, I'm playing too. Like,
I think you need to remember that the GM is also a player.
Yeah.
I mean, yes,
you're supposed to have
you are
fun too.
allowed to have fun at your games.
Yeah, but not at my player's expense is the thing. And like,
we have hold on. We have a message
from
coming in
Sandalwood
from
chat.
one of your players right now. It says, that scene was awesome. Don't you dare doubt yourself.
And
Breaking
also,
news.
do you love DMPCs or do you specifically love Daredevil?
I love Daredevil so much when he's done right. And lately, Marvel's just not been doing him right, and it's just like I got the chance to like fix it.
Too fastball, too furious. Fastball, extra special.
It like in my head, I'm like, that's a cool splash page. That's a cool splash image for Bigby and Dash, the 2 characters. I feel like I took something away by having Daredevil inserted in that splash image. Like,
I think so.
Oh,
I think that doubt comes from, there's an old, and it's still with all of us because we all grew up with this shit. There's an old like DM versus PC mindset that everybody still has, even though we've long since proved that it's stupid and we shouldn't do it. And I think a lot of DMs get into that headspace not when they're trying to kill their players, but when they're like, do I get to do something cool as well? And like, you do get to do cool things. You're allowed.
I think
if you made the whole game just Daredevil talking to She-Hulk, then
you could just grab 2 action figures and do that.
Yeah, that would be a problem. That would be boring for everybody else. But having Daredevil do one cool thing, you're good.
You're allowed.
Okay, I related it to an experience that I had with the GM in the past, where it's just like every time one of the party members did something cool, the DM PC did something like that much cooler. Like, you ever have that DM where it's just like,
yeah, but you didn't fall into that trap. I think you also need to remember that after we did that, or before we did that, like before you even because we spent a karma point on that, if I'm remembering correctly.
No, I just had him do that.
No.
Even better.
But I remember that we spent a karma point on the fastball special move, I think, to do a reroll on it. To get like the best possible thing that we did. I think I even remember you actually specifically asking if that was okay. We were like, "Hey, is it okay if I add on to this?" And Sam was like, "Absolutely, yes." Like, buy in. So like you
Oh yeah,
did
I did
all the
ask.
right things. You asked first.
Well, still, I just never want to be that GM that's just like, no matter how cool you are, my DM PCs will always be cooler than you.
Yes,
Don't
because
you
that's
ever
what you've
fucking forget
descended
that.
into by having fucking Daredevil do a cool thing one time.
It can't be one-upmanship if you were literally riding my coat wheels,
Yeah.
says Sam.
Now I'm imagining Sam in a coat made of wheelchairs, and it actually looks really fucking cool.
I have to tell you, there was a scene in that game where Sam's speedster just dipped on Quicksilver, and it's one of my favorite mental images.
I was reading an X-Men comic the other day, and North Star referred to himself as the fastest person alive, and I was like, but Quicksilver? No, you're right.
Silver Surfer's just his face, like, what you say?
Dash will give them all a roll for their money.
Yes. Always.
Oh, I didn't know you could. I just saw that the bot was like, Phoenix
Yeah,
Path rolled a 20. I didn't know you could roll dice. Anyway,
there's
that
a thing
was
for that, but the lurk command specifically tells people that they rolled a 20 to do stealth.
Yeah. Also, in the
um.
interest of shooting my shot, I want to play in your Marvel game more.
I mean,
Partially because I wanted to learn the system, and partially because I want to play with you more, man. I like you.
so I am honestly just gonna put together some spontaneous like who wants to play Marvel with me because I want to
Fuck
get
yeah.
better at running it. So I will
It's
invite
fun.
you to the Roll20. You make the character and I will hit you up like let's play because I need to play a game with Drac. I need to play one with you. I have so many people that I want to play the system with. It's so much fucking
Sam
fun.
is demanding to be put at a table with me. You have to give in to their demands.
Listen,
They're dangerous. I don't know what they'll do next.
they're dangerous. They're menace.
So Sam and Anita have two characters in my Marvel universe.
Hell
so
yeah.
you got choices. But I mean, I'm not doing shit later tonight. So anyway,
I am. It's WonderCon weekend, but you know.
flip my whole table over. But that was my confessional. That was my confession.
Dashboard confessional.
If my mic could pick up the guitar, I totally would sing the confession. Anyway,
So you go into Zoom and you go to no.
Zoom hates my guts. No one won't put me in because I'll just be an electric person and I won't feel a stereotype. Yeah, all black people have electric powers. That's the rules, AJ.
I just read about the superhero that existed before Black Lightning. That was DC's first shot at a black superhero. Do you know this story?
Oh, is it the white supremacist that turns into a black guy?
Yep. What the hell?
Oh, what was? Oh, his Hinction, his morphin time was Black Power. I think it was.
Yep.
I'm sad it's not actually. Well, it is now.
It is
actually
real.
a thing.
Yeah, J.M. Duffy put him in a comic. I think he was only in one scene. Thank God. But
yeah, he got his ass kicked. Do you know the? All right, we're going on a quick comic tangent. Do you know the origin story for Icon?
No.
Oh, okay. So Icon originated as a Milestone comic. Milestone Comics was a short-lived comic company that eventually would be bought out by DC. Their biggest hit was Static Shock. Icon was an alien who fell to Earth during chattel slavery in America. And the first human that he saw was a black slave. And so that's the form he took. And he's got essentially all the powers of Superman. And so he earned his way to freedom and became very successful. And he is a black conservative superhero.
Oh.
whose whole deal is to lift yourself up by your bootstraps. And his sidekick is a black girl named Rocket, who is consistently trying to go, hey, no, we can't lift ourselves up by our bootstraps because systemic racism. And he goes, well, I did it. And your whole deal is, you got fucking superpowers. So there have been worse ideas. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, I love comic books.
Comic books are great.
They're serious. Some of the worst ideas. Like, anyway, I could gush about this all day. We've got one more. We've got one more sin, right?
Didn't actually. Yeah. Mike needs to.
Yeah, I haven't done mine. I think my biggest sin in role playing is something that I'm working on all the time, and that is hero syndrome, I guess is the way to put it. It is so tempting for me to make myself the center of everything all the time. I've gotten so much better at it, but every now and then, like I hop into a game with some people I haven't met before, or some people who are friends of friends or something like that. And it's one of those groups that's really quiet, and so like the DM will say something, and then no one will say anything for a few minutes. And with my ADHD and built-in impatience, I start vibrating in place because I'm like, I don't want to talk over these people. I want to give them a chance to roleplay, but god damn it, no one's saying anything. I know how to solve this problem. I can just walk over there and throw that switch.
Oh my god, it's me.
And so I have to be very careful about that. If you go back and watch my my appearances on Clear Skies, you could definitely see me like everybody else was talking. It wasn't that kind of game, but I was just sitting there going, wait for the right moment, Mike. Make an actual sensible comment. Don't just jump in to say something. Oh God.
Okay, so here is my penance, because I honestly had this exact same sin like maybe a couple of episodes back. Your penance is to play a character that is weak. That, like, even if they wanted to be like Mr. Action Hero, fundamentally they can't be. Like, the reason that I know that this is a good penance is because I'm playing exactly this kind of character right now in Beacon. I have 2 hit points and like no combat skills.
And a xenomorph does 1,200 damage on each hit.
And that's just if they look at you. And I made the mistake of wanting to be Mr. Action Hero with my doctor character, and like the other PCs have to be like, "Yo,
Stop it. What are you doing?"
Like, I'm the baby, so like I challenge you to play the baby, because it is an experience that, like, everything in me when I play that character is just like, I want to kick down the door, except for the fact that I've got -50 straight.
Listen, I love being the chaos
break
baby.
every bone in my body. What do you say, babe? Sorry.
We love a chaos baby.
A chaos baby. Always.
Someone who's gonna firebolt the troll at level 1.
Has a sneeze worth the hit points, and I'm terrified. Sam has literally picked my character up, put him on their shoulders, and walked them to safety. Because my stupid ass would have been like, I'm gonna fight them with my syringe of the pain relief. So that is my challenge for you. Play baby.
Baby.
But Anita, what is your penance?
My penance is try and rope another character into your shenanigans.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Get a co-conspirator at the table.
I accept your penance. I swear it will be done.
We also have a write-in sin. Eric is letting us know that his biggest sin is letting my players live and enjoy themselves instead of shattering their pathetic lives, and by destroying that which they love, insulting the earth where their corpses of their dreams lay, writhing for those last seconds of their wretched life before slipping in the void where they belong.
I feel like that's a desire that you have, and now I'm even more terrified.
Sam corroborated and says that's true. You do that.
Yeah.
Eric's trying to be better, and Sam
Nope.
says, "No, you're not. It's okay. You don't have to hide it."
Eric,
so
you've
scared.
evolved past the grognards we grew up with. You've attained a higher level of sentience.
Fluffy Butt goes, Nowhere, stop trying to punch God in the face. Well, tell
No.
God to stop having such a punchable face to me.
Our arms are long enough to box with God.
Got that
All right.
reach.
You
Just
got that reach bonus.
the longest Shoryuken you've ever seen.
Shoryuken up to the heavens.
Oh wait, yeah, Shoryuken. I was saying Kamehameha while doing that.
I was about to be like, that's the most aggressive Kamehameha I've ever Oh.
Kame.
Kamehameha.
See, that's a finishing move.
I mean, a Kamehameha uppercut? I think I'd like to change my signature move now, please. But that brings us that was Tabletop Confessions. And now we get to do the second half of your signature move question, which is, what is your signature move as a GM? Like, what do you feel like as a GM you do better than others?
So it's kind of unfair because I stole this move lock stock from Brendan Lee Mulligan. So I don't know if it's my move, but I just started experimenting in the last few months with starting campaigns with that thing of like each character gets a focus scene that then you try to blend into another character's focus scene. And it works so well. Everybody just starts, off with like a relationship and shit. It's great. My other big move is not planning anything. It's just, it's I have a basic concept, and then whatever you guys do, I'm going to respond to that. This boss doesn't have stats. He'll die when I tell you he's dead, and it feels narratively appropriate.
Those are two really good signature moves. I especially like the first one. I do that as well, and like it's corny as shit, but like I start off by going, "What's your character's morning ritual?" And like I get a little chuckle in my head, and and then you ever do that thing where you tell yourself a joke and you have the reaction to the joke yourself, and everybody's looking at you like, "What the fuck is going on?"
I may have mentioned earlier in the show the 1995 cinematic masterpiece Mortal Kombat, but every now and then I will do a hilarious reference to that movie in my own head to myself, because no one else will understand it, and I get a good chuckle out of it every time.
I can confirm to you that I have two friends that get together annually and watch Mortal Kombat, and they say every line as they say
Who
it.
are your friends? Introduce me to them. I only know one other person on this planet who loves this movie as much as I do, and Danielle is really busy.
Well, actually, there's three of them. There's one that's not in the space at all. The other one is Latia Jaquez, who's the community manager for Wizards of the Coast.
Nice.
And the third is Omnis X, who's another streamer friend of mine. They know that movie inside and out. Like we whenever we get together, whenever we're about to do whatever we decide to get together to do, we always go, "It has begun." Like
it
every
has
time.
begun.
But
So did you figure with that in that case? Did you figure out the naming convention of all the League of Swords shows so far this year? I'll list them out for you again. It has begun. God, what's the second one? There was It Has Begun, Save Your Pity for the Weak, and Deadliest of Enemies.
I know It Has Begun is a Shao Kahn quote.
They are all Shang Tsung quotes. You are 100% correct.
Yeah, so I was just like, I knew two were for sure. I wasn't sure about the deadliest of enemies with them.
It's Scorpion and Sub-Zero, deadliest of enemies, but slaves under my power.
I love Mortal Kombat so much. It's so
I saw that
silly.
movie when I was 12, and the opening sequence with like all the fire and the theme song playing, I was like, this is the coolest movie I've ever seen. And then it continued to be the coolest movie I'd ever seen in my life.
So my mom will never let me live this down. But while she was having my little middle,
Uh-huh.
I insisted on seeing Mortal Kombat. And every time the theme song would kick, like my little middle Joy would beat my mom up.
Trying to fatality out.
Yeah.
So
Babality.
each one of us has a movie that we kicked her ass to while she was having us. The one that I beat her ass to was Predators.
Nice.
The one that Joy beat her ass to was Mortal Kombat, and the one that Jay beat her ass to was, I believe, Event Horizon.
Oh my god. Your mom has excellent taste in movies.
No, my dad just makes her watch really shit. And I'm the reason that she watched Mortal Kombat, so it's me and Dad.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But that was Tabletop Confessions with a
Did
little
I, did
bit of.
I don't know if I've ever told you this. I met my wife because of Mortal Kombat. Like, not
Are
met
you
my wife,
serious?
but I met her in line for a bus pass in college. And then we started talking about vampires. That story will come up later. But the first time she came to visit my dorm room, she walked over to my DVD collection, pulled my favorite goddamn movie of all time off the shelf, and said, "Mortal Kombat, I love this movie." And I was like, "I'm gonna marry this girl." Like, I'm gonna marry this girl.
Lock it down.
Yeah.
I'll put a baby in you.
I mean, I did. Eventually.
But that was Tabletop Confession. Oh, and the signature move. Look at that. We did
2
both.
for 2, baby. We're on
2 for
track.
2. All right. Our next segment is the Tabletop Commandments. You can tell that I've got religious travel. We have had a number of guests on in this latest season, and each time we asked them to add a commandment to our ever-growing list of Tabletop Commandments. Now, we've got a lot, so I'm only going to read 3 of them.
Okay.
I'll do the latest 3. The latest one was from Fluffy Goomba, aka Christian. It says, "Thou shalt have fun with the story you're telling. Do not be afraid of being goofy or serious. Do not be afraid to be dramatic or give speeches or give simple answers. Do not be afraid of telling the story you want to tell, because no one can tell it better than you." So that's one commandment. The next one is from Natalie Fatum, which is, "Thou shalt play Pharaoh. Make the interesting choice over the safe choice."
Yes.
And finally, Haley Whipjack was the latest of the 3, which is, "Thou shalt believe oneself to be equal of importance to everyone at the table." So,
Hell yeah.
with that, Mike, do you have a tabletop commandment that you would like to add?
Hear me, people of Earth. Thou shalt, during thy session 0, discuss the nature of the game you want to play, and then actually play that game that you discussed.
Yours is the only one I've written in all caps.
Excellent.
Hear me, people of Earth. Thou shalt, during the session 0, discuss the type of game you'd like to play and actually play that game. That is so real. That is so fucking real. I've had
The number of people that are like, "Oh, my players are gonna love this huge surprise tonal shift," or like, "The GM is gonna love this surprise thing that I told no one about." No. Talk to people. Talk to people. Look at me. Look at me. Talk to people.
They think it's gonna be a comedy game, but I can't wait to scare them with this horror movie twist. Like,
They signed up for a fantasy adventure game. I'm going to be using the phrase knee deep in the blood of children. True story.
wow.
Cheesy Pete's.
1 second. I'm just now noticing a note from the producer that I'm sounding far away. So let me check my sound real quick.
Thank you.
The,
I sent it to you twice.
You
The
only
note-
noticed it in half an
the
hour
note
later.
that I got 30 minutes ago. I'm a professional.
It's all good.
See, this is, folks, this is where advocating for yourself comes in, both at the table and in your streams. This is this is the point where Anita could have been, yo, Noir, fix your
your
shit
sound.
online.
Get your shit together. What the fuck is wrong with
I'm
you?
trying to be professional and keep this behind the
alright.
scenes.
I raised the gain a bit. Is that better? I am the very model of the modern Major General of information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. I know
I
that you
mean,
take
You
me
sound the same to me,
sound the
but
same.
you've all
It's
sounded
still-
the same the whole time.
It kind of sounds like there's a filter on your voice.
Are
Oh,
you sure Zoom is using the correct microphone?
That's
'Cause
my
that's
question.
almost always what happens in this situation.
Well, it should be, but here, I'll change it. Is that better?
Much
Yep.
better.
Leagues better.
Okay, it was voice mod. It was doing something weird.
Oh, okay. Yeah, voice mode was
All
being
right.
fucky.
Well, there you go, folks, behind the scenes. Woo!
Hey.
And that's the
Hey.
kind of fun stuff you'll get when you sign to our Patreon.
We got good suggestions in chat. Sam says, in session 0, we're gonna do lots of downtime activities. Actual game, never downtime activities. I will run
No,
you blades
I'm
in
gonna
the
keep
dark,
throwing
Sam.
you into the shit.
I will run you so much
I
blades in the
heard.
dark.
I'm sorry, you said activities, but I heard titties, and I'm like,
Where?
We're gonna do downtime titties.
no, downtime titties. Huh? What?
Thank you for throwing the link to the Patreon in chat, Sphinx. Hello.
Never downtime titties.
And lo, Eric stood upon the rock and said unto
We
the
have- we-
people, Verily I say unto thee, that thou shalt avoid being the one to suggest ordering pizza. For if thou hast the mind to, thou shalt be asked to call, and then thou shalt despair and wail, then thou must be the one to call.
Don't ask if people want pizza. Order
get
the
the pizza.
motherfucking pizza.
Never
Say,
downtime
what kind of
titties.
pizza y'all want? And that we've created so many t-shirts today. Never downtime titties. Absolutely a morning ritual shirt.
Can we get Thai food at a TTRPG gathering?
Mhm.
I don't know.
No,
I've
I
seen it.
think
It's
I
been-
can
I've seen
fuck
it.
with that. I can fuck with. I
I've
can
done
fuck with some
I've done whole ass
Vietnamese, honestly.
pasta at a TTRPG game before.
Okay, I might. This might be a hot take, but there are some foods at a TTRPG session that I don't feel like they belong. Like if you bring pasta, I'm immediately falling asleep. Immediately. I can't GM loaded on pasta.
It's
I
carbo
just-
loaded. You can't
Morning
carbo load
stage.
before you GM.
I can't do it because it's just like okay. So you all walk into a cave and there's a fucking.
See, that's my
Well,
secret,
what's the
Captain.
difference between
I'm
carbo
always
loading
falling
on
asleep.
pasta versus pizza? They're just different kinds of bread. It's just wheat and water.
Listen, don't come to me with your science and facts, okay?
Listen, my friend Nemesis is Sam Delev. I'm gonna come at you with science.
Do not bring no
Uh,
pasta with the homemade seed.
I
Oh,
think the one thing that I have to say to this whole discussion is
Mhm.
and I'm going to explain something. If you're
Okay.
at home and you're afraid to tell your gaming group that you're a snacker, I've got your back, okay? Because it's
Oh.
okay to fucking snack, all right? When you're out there, some of us sweat from the moment we wake up to the moment we go to sleep. Some of our bodies are betraying us constantly. Abria laughs. Would I have chosen this paper white, fur-covered, constantly sweating body? No, I wouldn't have. Does it require constant almonds? Yes!
Constant Almond sounds like the best punk band of all
does.
time. I don't know
Constant
why.
almonds.
Yeah. Before anyone gives me credit for that, I was definitely reading a transcript of a
Yes.
specific Brennan Lee Mulligan rant.
Oh,
that popped into my
this-
mind.
This audience would recognize it immediately.
Good.
Oh my
S-
god. Okay, listen. Pizza, a great tabletop food. Pasta, not a great pot.
How
Not a
about
great.
Chinese food?
Oh, that depends. That depends on what you're getting. It depends on what you're getting.
Now, see, here's the thing. Here's the secret that will lead you to enlightenment, Noir.
Okay.
All food is tabletop food. All food.
I-
You want to have
Because
you want
it
to have
happens on a
pho
tabletop.
at the tabletop? You can have pho.
Ah.
You want to have I don't know. I looked around the room like there's food items here. You want to have breakfast cereal at the table? You go ahead and do it.
You know what? That's a wild food. But I would respect if somebody cracked open a box of cinnamon toast crunch at the table.
Hell yeah.
But you know what? Actually, no, because then you gotta hear the crunching.
Yeah.
What's different between that and hearing crunching from chips? Again, science.
It's just science, more.
You know what, Anita? I don't appreciate you coming up with these good arguments that I can't easily.
There are
debunk.
some times during the day that I just need a bowl of Raisin Bran Crunch, and I will not apologize for that.
All right, so now I've
Crunchy
got to ask.
Mechanics and Captain
I-
Crunch.
I need everybody's top 3 cereals right now, and there are correct answers and there are incorrect answers.
Frosted Mini Wheats, Raisin
Go-
Bran Crunch, Honey Nut Cheerios. I don't really have a third because you know ADD, possibly autism.
You started strong and got
yeah.
a little weaker, and then you
Oh,
just kind of
you
went.
just haven't had Raisin Bran Crunch in a while, my dude. Fire that shit up. Put that
Oh.
shit in your mouth and
We
tell
got
me I'm
Raisin
wrong.
Bran. It's just not Raisin Bran Crunch.
No, you need the crunch. Raisin Bran doesn't do it.
It's because
you
it's
gotta
got
have the
little
crunch.
granola bits in it.
All right, you're right. I have to make sure. I was like,
No. It's got to be the crunch.
there's
Raisin
no
Bran
crunch.
on its own
You're
is
right.
weak.
You're right. You're right. I was about to be like, you don't
Honey
speak
Bunches
to
of
me of
Oats
the
with
old
almonds.
magics.
That's a good one.
I like how so many people in chat are saying, if it doesn't have crunch, how will you trade your teeth for dice?
Fuck all of you.
The answer
Like
is
one at a time in a row?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch Cakes and honeycombs. Ooh, good choices.
Cinnamon
Phoenix Matt.
Toast Crunch.
Oh yeah,
Kicks it.
honeycomb is good. I feel like there's one up
God
there.
damn it, Eric was included in that. How could you betray me like this? Okay, here we go. The top 3 cereals.
Okay.
Frosted Mini Wheats. You had that right.
Yeah.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Oh fuck, I forgot Lucky Charms. That's number 3. Sorry, please continue.
This is gonna be controversial,
Okay.
but I need y'all to stick with me here. Smacks.
Hmm.
Mm,
Are
You're
Smacks
not
even still available,
wrong.
or have they been discontinued?
I don't know, but I tell you what, they were top tier when I got them.
Mine are Apple Jacks,
I want a divorce.
American Corn Pops specifically, because Canadian Corn Pops are actually different.
Hmm.
And I don't know if they still have them, but there was a mini wheats that had like jam in the middle.
Ugh.
Wow. That's a sin against God and man.
Yeah, thank you, Mike.
There was frosted mini wheats that had like little bit of jelly in the center. Those ones were
Why would you-
delicious.
Why would you ruin something good?
It's like,
Like
when
that.
people. It's like when supermarkets have that peanut butter and jelly in the same jar thing. It's like, why? Just that you don't want them to touch until they're supposed to touch.
But in a pinch, I
It's
would
like a
keep it just
dry
regular mini
gusher.
wheats.
It's gross.
It's just so good though.
I told you this show has no fucking format, man.
Nah, man.
Like part of me is just like, I'm so sorry.
Don't never apologize.
Hey, we got talking about League of Swords out at the front, so now it's just whatever. I have done my duty.
You want fucking I was about to, you know what? No, fucking it's my show. I can say what I want. You want cream pie frosted mini wheats in this motherfucker? That's gross.
Okay, so the last League of Swords shoot we did, one of my actors made chocolate cream pie, and it was the best shit ever. It was like, we're gonna sword fight for a minute, then we're gonna eat some chocolate cream pie. It was great.
Alphabet cereal.
Ooh,
Wait, what?
alphabet cereal.
No.
You know what the best breakfast food is? Chef Boyardee's ABCs and 1, 2, 3s.
Wait, what?
Chef Boyardee makes a can, this thing. It's called ABCs and 1, 2, 3s now because it's alphabet letters. It used to be called dinosaurs because it was dinosaur shapes. And it is the greatest thing that they make. And it is a great breakfast food. You wake up in the morning, you warm yourself up a can of Chef Boyardee, you eat it, you're hungry again in 30 seconds because it's not filling at all.
Oh, wait, the only Chef Boyardee stuff I fuck with is the ravioli. Like
Ravioli.
that's
Ravioli's good.
yeah, that ravioli is top tier.
This
This
is
top
gonna,
tier.
this is gonna be a tangent. There was a pizza place when I was like broke and working at like a print shop back in Calgary. There's this pizza place that we go to. They had really good donair and shawarma, but they also did baked pastas. They were just cans of Chef
They did baked what?
Boyardee. Baked pasta. I'm going to say it the way that I'm going to say it, and you're not going to shame me for my pronunciation because I'm Canadian.
I love you,
I
babe.
just have to ask. There's a type of Mexican food that's spelled Fajitas. How do you pronounce that word, Anita?
Fajitas.
Okay, good. Because in England they say pasta, but they also say fajitas.
No, it's fajitas. I'm not a complete. I'm Canadian. I'm
the
not a
prince
Philistine.
of all Mexican food.
But anyways, this place sold baked like pasta. Pasta? Pasta?
Pasta.
Pasta? And it was literally just a can of Chef Boyardee with like cheese on top. It was, but it hit. It was like $8. It
Oh,
was
hell yeah.
$7. It was all you could afford. It was good.
Sometimes, like the best pub place I've ever been to, it was in a terrible part of town and it looked like somebody's kitchen. Like sometimes it's just, that's where the good food is.
Listen, the place was not up to any sort of code, I'm sure. It looked grungy, but like the donair that they had there or the ravioli, the baked ravioli, it hit.
Nice.
That being said, I still, as much as I love Chef Boyardee, if somebody shows up to a D&D session with a can of ravioli, like I'm gonna judge you a little bit. There are some foods.
You know what? And you're gonna judge me, and I'm gonna sit here like this. I'm gonna give you some ASMR in real life.
Your character's getting attacked every time. Get you some salsa from New York City.
New York City.
All right, let me ask this then, since I'm clearly on the minority side of this. What is
when the podcast started?
That's true. I'm outnumbered. Shit. The colonization has started. Next episode with your hosts Anita and Mike. No.
I hear they're looking for guests on Nerdpreneur.
Well, hold on. I have to really fuck up first before I fit the quota.
You gotta ghost yourself.
Right? What is a food that if somebody brought it to the table, you'd be like, like
Interesting.
just kind of like, I okay, I guess.
I mean, I try not to judge on food.
I'm gonna quote a comedian here.
Yeah.
A plastic bag full of pancakes.
I don't know. I feel like anybody who carries around a plastic bag full of pancakes might be best.
They don't care about their life.
I showed up to a set once with a plastic bag full of pasta because I'd been having pasta for breakfast because it was quick, and then I ran out of time and had to go, so I threw it into a Ziploc bag and threw a fork in the Ziploc bag and left.
I noticed this is the second episode where we have spent the later half talking about food, and it reminded me of the first one where we did, and I have to ask the question, what are some unwritten food rules at the table? For example, the reason that I bring this up is the first time we started talking about food at the later end of an episode, it was because someone came to the table with a box of pizza and did not share it. And I feel that That is a party
That's a
foul.
power move. That's a you are in control of this situation and no one can stop you.
Like it was a you remember Domino's did like the $5 hot and ready pizzas with one toppings that could feed everybody that's playing, but they came and this is my pizza because y'all will go buy your own pizzas anyway. I just brought mine. What are some party fouls food wise at the TTRPG table?
I gotta answer a question from chat. Sphinx Roll says how you just bring a can of Chef though? What if no one has a can opener? I don't know if you know this. They have open lids now. You don't need a can opener anymore.
I cut myself on those open lids though. I
So
missed the
tough.
can.
All right.
Like
I think a party foul food wise would be less of the food type and more of like what's being done with that food. Like if you're having a wet burrito for dinner at D&D, like okay, it's a little weird, it's messy, but it's a little weird. I wouldn't judge you, but if you're like having it like on a Subway sandwich wrapper that you like spread out close to the middle of the table, then I'm going to be like maybe not. Maybe don't do that.
If
Maybe
you're
use
if
another
you're
table.
eating a dish that is messy or sloppy, and you touch other people's dice,
Gotta bring the hand wipes yourself if you're gonna bring a messy dish. That's your responsibility.
yeah, you gotta wash your hands.
Yeah.
That's why I don't let other people touch my dice.
I got one. I'm starting to realize I'm a little bit of a picky bitch at the table. I'm starting to the more I talk to people, the more I'm starting to realize that maybe I'm the problem. But if you're volunteering to bring sodas for everybody or bring drinks for everybody, and you bring all diet drinks, I'm bucking you up immediately.
On a similar note, if you're bringing drinks for everybody and you bring nothing non-alcoholic, I'm fucking you up immediately.
Oh God, yes. Oh, if you get pissed drunk at access memory. I didn't remember this until right now.
Core memory unlocked.
If you get so fucking wasted that you become a problem at the table, and then you show up to the next session with alcohol, I am straight up kicking you out. You get one. You get one. I got too fucked up and was a problem. If the next day you come with another bottle of Ciroc or vodka or no, what the fuck did this motherfucker come with? Everclear and orange juice.
God.
If you come the next session with more alcohol, I'm kicking you out. This motherfucker was such a problem.
We all know.
Oh,
Everclear though?
yes.
On my worst day, I would not drink Everclear. I've had it exactly once in my life, and I got stopped
only
by
know
the
the
cops. So no.
Just that. Ooh, man.
Core memory
Man.
unlocked.
I
We broke Noir a little bit.
we really did. Because I remember just being like, calm down. Like, I get you excited. Calm down. Calm down. Shut up. Like, okay. Anyway, so sorry.
No. It was a good tangent.
You know what? I think we need to wrap up this this negativity with some positivity. So the next segment that we have is the comfort blanket player. Now, in this space, there is a problem in that it's cliquish as shit. Like there are insular groups that don't open up, and sometimes that can get a little toxic. And the antidote to that are comfort blanket players. They are people that you trust so much that if they invite you to play with a table that you haven't played with before, you feel comfortable just because they're there. Do you have or know any comfort blanket players?
I definitely do. I would say, I mean, obviously the first one is my wife. But just you all should play with her. Y'all should watch the Avatar Legends stream that she's on Fridays. She's amazing. Um, but let's see. In addition to her, which is I guess sort of an obvious choice, even though she's perfect in every way. How dare you? Uh, I will say who are people I've played with regularly? The cast of the Bite Marks game that I'm in right now are pretty much all those people.
Oh,
Everybody in that group is amazing. It's one of the best groups I've ever played with. Um, you can watch that on Neon Lights Roleplay, and they're all always on there. If you get a chance to do something with Neon Lights, do it. They're great. Um, and then from work, I would say I've played a lot of games with Jesse Heinig, and I've never not enjoyed one of them. Jesse does a very good job of making sure everybody's involved, everybody's having a good time, all of that stuff. And he also designed Mage the Ascension, which is second edition, which is one of my friend's favorite games ever. He was nice enough to come to said friend's bachelor party and run the game as the bachelor party event, which is just the coolest thing. So
that's so
yeah,
fucking cool. Oh, I see. I like that. I feel like we need to celebrate people like that more often because
I
that's the
agree.
only way we're gonna get rid of this insular, cliquish high school bullshit that
Mm-hmm.
that leads to some pretty toxic shit. But that said, we've had our sparkle of positivity. It's time to get back into
Back in the
shit.
hole.
Get back into shit. If you've been in the TTRPG space for long enough, you've probably had the displeasure of playing with a that guy. A that guy is a veritable black hole of fun, someone that if they were yeeted into the sun, your experience at the table would improve tenfold. So, Mike, I have to ask you, have you experienced the that guy?
I have. And I asked beforehand if LARPing stories were okay, and you guys said
Absolutely,
yes.
they're
So
okay.
we are going to dive now into the deep, dark world of Vampire the Masquerade.
Oh
And
God.
specifically, Vampire the Masquerade LARPs. And
Oh,
even more specifically, nationally run Vampire the Masquerade LARPs. So, the story begins as thus. My wife and I we wanted to do more LARPing. The only thing that seemed to be in the area because we didn't know about convention LARPs was the Vampire the Masquerade thing, and also we both love vampires. So we were like, let's go check this thing out, and we joined the Berkeley Vampire LARP. It was a great time. There were good people. It was vampires, so there was definitely some weirdos. Definitely more like player conflict than there ever needed to be. But. And then we were playing Vontrue, which, if you know Vampire at all, are the stuck-up businessmen vampires. And we were at a party, it's a LARP, so it was a pretend party, but you know what I mean, at the San Francisco chapter of the LARP. And my wife was playing a Vontrue who was a little bit nicer than other Vontrues. And she said something to someone along the lines of like, wouldn't this all be better if we all treated each other better and we didn't all treat each other like crap? The person she said that to immediately went after that game and told the high-powered Von True player from Sacramento, which is 2 hours away, who had been playing for like 20 years with the same character and was had all the powers and stuff. And he drove to the next game, so that's a 2 hour drive. He drove to the next game explicitly to make my wife cry. He succeeded. I told off the GM, but there was nothing the GM could do about it because that's not how the game works. You can't kick off out people for being jerks. It's vampire. And then afterwards, he took a look around, realized he was the most powerful character there, killed the prince, and took over. So he was now the prince of our game after driving for 2 hours to make my wife cry. The wonderful thing about that situation was he immediately didn't have anybody to roleplay with because every character in the game stopped playing their Camarilla characters and made Anarchs, and we went and did a separate game where he couldn't roleplay with anyone unless he was summoning them because nobody wanted to talk to him. And eventually he fucked up and the GM had his character killed, which was great. But still, and that is why to this day I do not trust Vampire the Masquerade at all.
To go that far out of your way to be a dickhead.
Right? Over saying, like, maybe be nicer to each other. Like, that's not the vampire way. You must be a dick.
I see. I very much want to like the World of Darkness, just because on principle. Because I love Underworld. Honestly, I just put it out
Fuck
there.
yeah,
Like,
Underworld's great.
Underworld made me want to play World of Darkness like nobody's business. But every time I hear about, I'm debating how much trouble do I want to get myself in right now.
All the
The
trouble.
All right,
I know
all right.
a lot of our friends. Oh, go ahead, go
Bro, I'm gonna get myself in trouble. I don't give a shit.
ahead.
There is a vampire LARP happening in Chicago. I'm very territorial. I love Chicago. I love it with my whole heart. The city raised me, molded me. I love it just so much. And there is somebody who is guesting as the Prince of Chicago.
Okay.
That should not be. It's going to be what I just I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. And
Oh,
it's just like,
you're gonna have to give me the T in chat or something
yeah,
like that.
I will say this. A lot of other brands have learned to distance themselves from certain individuals, and it feels like World of Darkness is always the most reluctant to do
Mhm.
so,
Mm-hmm.
and to not do so, and to have them be like the highest rank in my
Character.
city.
Yeah.
The Prince of Chicago's from Minneapolis.
I'm gonna fight the chat. I'm gonna fight the chat
So-
so goddamn.
So my question is, when did CM Punk start playing Vampire?
Honestly, I would prefer if Phil, because that would do two things. One, it would get the current person playing the Prince of Chicago out, and two, it would get CM Punk out of wrestling. Two birds, one stone. I'm okay with it, but it's just when I saw that in in all the advertisement, because I like in Chicago, so it's just like, hey, there's a nerdy thing happening in Chicago. Don't you want to come? And you can meet this person who's gonna be the Prince of Chicago. And I'm just like, pissed off.
Why? Why would you ever? Oh.
There's just so much anger in my heart right now. We'll talk later. It's not like y'all can't look it up and find out what the fuck I'm talking about. Well, I don't give
I
a
just
shit.
don't.
Sam BRP opening a new tab to see how we can figure out who's playing the Prince
Let me
of
know when you
Chicago.
figure it out, Sam.
I'm not gonna say all respect. I don't got respect for. We'll talk later. I'm just gonna say, read my tweets from today to understand why I'm so in a cage right now, because it's just like,
Despite all your rage.
Despite all your rage.
all my rage, and by the way, Smashing Pumpkins from Chicago, also somebody who really fucked up wrestling. Like,
Yep. Yep. They
I
sure fucking did.
need,
Or
I
mostly Billy,
need-
anyway.
I need Chicagoans. Look, we love wrestling. Yeah, cause Billy Corgan started off doing some really good stuff for wrestling until he didn't.
You know, the NWA though, like the first time I watched Power, I was like, if somebody's gonna say something racist before the year is through. Like just looking at it, I was like, there is gonna be a problem. Somebody is gonna say something racist.
right? Like,
And surprise, surprise, it was Jim Cornette.
Chicago is. I love my city, but Chicago is you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain incarnate. You think I'm kidding? Watch this. Kanye West. Everybody loved Kanye for a while. And then what happened? You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. CM Punk. We all love CM Punk. What happened? You either die a hero or live
Or
long
live
enough
long
to
enough
see
to see yourself become a villain.
Smashing Pumpkins. We all love Smashing Pumpkins. What happened? You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the
The
villain.
most bizarre thing I've seen this year, Garnet, or oh well, I said her name. My daughter is was watching a Disney Christmas special, like where they had a bunch of bands to come and sing at the castle, and
Mm-hmm.
Smashing Pumpkins showed up to sing a Christmas carol. That was just
Nobody wants that.
no,
Nobody.
no one wants that.
Just fucking stop. Like, that's why I respect Fallout Boy. Fallout Boy from Chicago. They haven't done the Chicago turn yet.
Yet,
The
Yeah,
it's
Chicago
got to
heel
turn
turn.
heel eventually.
The Chicago heel turn. That's what it is. All Chicagoans start off babyface, and then for some reason, like I think when you're born in Chicago and you decide to get into content creation or entertainment, you get issued a fuck up gremlin, and it just sits there and waits for you to have the most amount of goodwill, and then he just goes, "All right, it's time," and then you go on a rant about how much you love Hitler. Like, I don't understand.
It's just Sam. Oh no, it was the person I expected.
Oh no, okay, I gotta Google this shit.
But uh, we, so
Fabulous.
we so we end the show with what we like to call the community spotlight. If there's people that you feel have helped you in the space, or people that you just feel aren't getting enough love, or people that you think that we should reach out to have them on.
You forgot
Uh,
one section, baby.
oh, what did I forget?
You forgot the crumbs I had in my brain, and then I forgot about it. You forgot to ask the TTRPG bucket list question.
Oh, fucking shitballs! All right, yes. So, what kind of response was that?
Fucking shitballs. That was the
Perfect.
response.
It was perfect. It
It's-
was the right response.
Exactly.
uh, so the TTRPG bucket list is if there's anything that you want to have, anything you want to experience at a table that you have not yet, let us know. So, like for example, one of the things that I desperately want to experience is to hop off of a dragon and have to figure out how to land safely. Like I think that's just such a cool moment. I have not had that. Another one is like I want to say this and I'm gonna get so much shit. I want to be in a romance in a game. Uh, see,
Okay.
you see, you two Mike and two Mike.
We just gotta get you in a game with Erica. That'll solve it. She'll romance your ass real fast. They'll romance your ass real fast.
Erica Ishii.
Yeah.
I'm scared of them. They frighten me.
As they should.
Correct response. The prophecy must be fulfilled.
But those are things that are on my TTRPG bucket list. What do you have on your TTRPG bucket list?
Selfishly, I'd really like to be on one of the big ones, like a Dimension 20 or a Critical Role.
Oh yeah.
Less selfishly, I want to do more stuff with the Stream Punks because I'm friends with all of them and I want excuses to hang out with them. And it turns out in Los Angeles, the best way to hang out with your friends is to do projects with them. Nobody got time for anything else. I also would like. I would love to play in a Star Wars game. I haven't played it once since college, and I love that universe so much. And I would love to play in something like Cyberpunk or Magic Punky. That would be fun.
Magic.
Yeah.
That's sick. Oh, I just found out a way to piss off my partner, so I think I'm gonna have to do it. Mike, I have it in with one of the co-owners in the Street Plugs. I'll put in a good word.
The call's coming from
Uh,
inside the stream.
no, those are some pretty good ones. Anita, I don't think we've ever asked you. Do you have anything on your TTRPG bucket list?
Romance my partner.
Who's your partner?
You dummy.
Oh, well, I would love to. I would love to romance you.
You know, I
I
don't know if
brought
y'all
a
know
muscle
this.
mommy for you, and you didn't romance them.
Well, first off, I tried to romance them, but you remember who our GM was.
That's true.
All
I
right.
j-
Now, when Noir says he tried to romance you, how does that make you feel? If I get to this. Oh, that one. I see the Prince of Chicago now. Thank you, Sam.
Yeah.
Neat. I was immediately like, which muscle mommy you played? This was a muscle mommy by the name of Opie.
Now I tried, and what? Remember, in fact, at the end, I tried to save you from a thing, and what happened?
The GM killed you.
GM.
Yeah, AJ. Oh man, if only Noir would have let us complete our romance. Maybe you should run something where I don't let you kiss.
You see, I can't. Chat's always on my neck. I'm the victim. I'm the wounded party. So the next segment
You always
we have.
know that the real victim is the person yelling, "I'm the victim" at the top of their lungs.
Feel sorry for me. Give me your sympathy. But that brings us to the community spotlight. So all those things that I said before when I introduced it incorrectly because we had not finished the rest.
I'll start. It's okay.
So go ahead and you can start. Mike, is there anybody in the scene that you think you should want to give more love to, that you think we should reach out to, or folks that just helped you along the way?
I am gonna give a return shout out to the people at Neon Lights Roleplay, including their fearless leader Foxy.
I love Foxy.
Foxy's good people.
Oh, you guys know them. Oh,
I know
awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Yeah, they're a great group of people. I'm in bite marks with them right now, which is incredible. And it's really fun. They do really good stuff and really good socially aware stuff. And on the same note, I have spent a lot of time and had a great time with Lost Caravan RPG. I don't know if you guys know them and Hoop, but they're also really great. They run a lot of stuff on the side. So yeah.
Okay, we're gonna have to reach. I can't believe we haven't had Foxy on this show yet. What the fuck is wrong with me?
Foxy has been on the channel before. He played
Wait, hold on. Let me double check because I don't think Foxy is.
Hasn't been on Morning Ritual, no, but has been on the channel.
Hold on, let me.
I'm gonna fix that link if I can post a link in the chat. Okay, cool. Yeah, Neon Lights. Oh, you already fixed it. Oh well, I'm a fool.
Fast on the draw.
Fastest typo fixer in the West.
Yeah, Foxy was in we did a Humblewood game for a couple sessions, and Foxy played the most wholesome being of a fox paladin in that game.
In our werewolf game, he is playing exactly the opposite. He is a gross, disgusting ancient old man, and I love every minute of
it. They're so good.
I fuck with Neon Lights. We need to show them some more love more often.
Yeah.
But all right, well those are some pretty solid names for the community spotlight. Anita, is there anyone that you would like to spotlight?
Oh, my spotlight this week goes to. I'm trying to think of who I can spotlight this week. Who needs it? There's a lot of people. Listen, there's a lot of people that got hurt this week. in the space. And you should obviously give them your support and give them your love. But I think most importantly, this week we should shine a spotlight on a lot of really cool Black creators, because they got hit with a bunch of strays as a result of the fallout from what happened this week. So shout out to Hushkid, AJ. Shout out to the Noir Enigma. Shout out to
you might want to be careful with that second guy. I hear he's a problem.
yeah. Listen, he's my
I'm
problematic
shouting
fave.
out to the Noir Enigma.
He's
Can the
problematic
Noir
fave.
Enigma hear me?
Shout out to It's the Riddler, to D. Get my name.
It's my name.
Out your mouth. Shoot, I'll keep going. So
Yeah, do some more shout outs.
Fluffy Goomba, Christian,
Fluffy
we
Goomba?
just had him on. Laura
Yeah.
Tutu, fantastic. Cinder Score, aka Jazz, just all around awesome. Justin on TikTok, we had a very fun encounter on Twitter. He's just like, well, maybe people should use their real names, and I'm like, well, my real name is Justin, so that'd be awkward.
Freddie's roommate, yeah.
Just honestly, all the Black creators out there, there are tons of us, despite what anyone might say, even some Black folks who are just like, there aren't that many of us. No, there are. Don't listen to them. I'm being a sassy bitch this week. I swear to God, I'm gonna just end up in fist.
What you keep talking like this is new.
I try to be nice, but like, what? Where is it? Hold on, one second.
He's going to get something. There's a prop.
There is a prop because I'm a low class prop comic. My patience is empty. I ain't got nothing left in it. All right?
I try to be nice. Inside check.
There's nothing here. Not a stitch of patience. So no matter what anybody tells you, no matter how many followers, no matter how Black they are, there are tons of us out here. We're doing the work. Please, please look beyond the 4 or 5 that constantly get pushed in your face, because you see what happens when those are the only ones that you give any support to.
I have to recommend, just like on any weeknight, if you're looking for something to watch, just look up people who are playing actual plays on Twitch. Look for somebody who doesn't have a ton of viewers and see there's a lot of people out there in the space who don't get a lot of attention, who deserve your attention. So
For real.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of people that have your attention that you should probably reconsider.
You should probably let the ADHD take over on those folks.
You should see who's in their orbit, and if the people in their orbit don't change, that should tell you something. I'm just about to start yelling names, so we need to wrap this up.
Exactly. I think that's a good spot as any to start wrapping our show up. I've been one of your hosts, Anita. You can find me everywhere at Panita or at Critical Misses, because this is the channel that I run. I'm the founder of this channel and this lovely show. You can find me here on Saturdays for more morning ritual. And our guest next week is Chad the Bird. We got a puppet coming on the show next week.
Oh my God.
A literal puppet is coming on the show next week. I'm so excited. I got glamour shots from Chad in my email, and I did not expect it to make me as fucking happy as it did.
I am gonna have to tune right the fuck back in for that.
Look up Chad the Bird Talk. He's an op-ed comic out of Chicago, and is fucking hilarious, and actually does play Dungeons and Dragons. Has played Dungeons and Dragons a couple times.
Chad can yell as much as Noir. It's a Chicago thing.
Yeah. And Sundays you can find me over on Indoor Adventures, who also need a bunch of more love. They're a great channel. You should check them out. Indoor Adventures, we do Apocalypse Keys on Sundays. And other than that, we're going to be starting to work on our season schedule for next season. Warren Guard comes back next Friday with our series finale, so you should check that out. Is it going to be Morning Ritual or Morning Chicago? Why not both?
ritual. No, I can't do it. Keep going.
No.
Don't pay any attention to me.
But yes, that's it for me. Noir, you want to do your outro?
Yeah. I'm Noir. You can find me all over the internet as the Noir Enigma. That's Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Blue Sky, Hive, Pornhub, OnlyFans, wherever. I'll be there. D- don't look for me in those last two, because you will find me. Every morning you can find me hanging out with the lovely stream punks over at Alt Haven. We are on the later end of Beacon, our alien RPG by Free League. I play a doctor with 2 hit points, and we're on our 3rd season. I don't know how I've done that.
Literally, an alien could sneeze on him, and he does.
Honestly, yes. Yes.
I mean, you've seen aliens sneeze, and isn't it acid?
Yeah. Well, that was the yeah.
Yeah.
You got me thinking about, like, do you think alien poop or pee is also acidic?
Probably.
Probably. Also, every other Tuesday, you can find me over on, and I have this memorized, the Crit Hit Chronicles, where we're doing a Daggerheart game. I play a dwarf whose name is Drakebreaker. He doesn't like dragons. There you go. On the last Tuesday of every month, I do a special coffee game for Stream Punks. Currently, we are doing Marvel Multiverse TTRPG with Sam and Anita. They are playing Big B and Dash, a bruiser and a speedster who uses a wheelchair, which is just the fucking coolest goddamn thing. You guys have to check it out. Every Friday, you can find me over on Gen Con TV, where I report all things happening in the TTRPG space. It's called Table Takes with my fellow host, Bonsai Baby, Javion, and Peter Atkinson, one of the original founders of Wizards of the Coast. Finally, every Saturday, you can find me right back here for Morning Ritual. And of course, on Sundays, you can find me over on Indoor Adventures, where we play Apocalypse Keys, and I play Judas Iscariot.
Yes, that one.
Wow.
I forgot to mention, I'm also on Start Playing Games under Critical Misses if you want me to run a game for you. We've just got enough players for our Kids on Bikes campaign, but we could use a couple more if you want to. Or I've also got a Star Trek Adventures game. I'm running those on alternating Saturdays. I also on Magpie as part of their CPP, so you can sign up for games through that as well. That's it for me. And
Mike.
Tell us about yourself.
Hello,
Where can folks find you?
everyone. My name is Mikey, or Mike Fatum. You can find me on Twitter and Blue Sky at VengeanceGOD. You can find me on TikTok at VengeanceGOD2, and you can find me on Instagram at Broken Infinity Films. I am the host of 3 podcasts on the Ace of Geeks podcast network. The first one, Ace of Geeks, is 4 best friends who get together every other week and pit the 4 nerdy things of their choice that they've seen recently against each other and make them fight to the death to determine which one's worthy of the Ace of Geeks award. The second one is Edge of Reality, which is our TTRPG podcast. We wrapped up. We've got 2 seasons out right now. Kids on Brooms. So if you want a magical school without the transphobia, and Candlekeep, which is a D&D adventure where we again play awkward nerds stuck in a magical house castle thing. And getting killed by mimics. And the third one is the third podcast. Sorry, and I think we're going to be doing Daggerheart next, which I'm going to be running, which could be fun. Will be fun. You're going to love it. Listen to my show. And finally, Yavin Radio, which is a improv interview podcast set in the Star Wars universe. Jarrus and I play 2 absolute losers of the Rebel Alliance who were washed out and left with podcasting for the New Republic instead. And we interview all of the strange people who come by our closet where we record. It's very funny, and I'm very proud of it. I think you'll like it too. And we're recording the 2nd season right now. We had Daniel Radford on last night, which I'm very excited about. Finally, you heard about it at the beginning of the podcast. The League of Swords is my baby and my dream podcast, a dream project. It is combines the best parts of professional wrestling, choreographed sword fights, and like 90s stuff like Mortal Kombat and WMAC Masters. If you go to leagueofswords.com right now, you can get a link to our YouTube channel where all our previous shows exist. We've got another show that I'm editing right now and should be coming out in the next couple of weeks, along with some social media content on our Instagram and TikTok, which are both at League of Swords. And we're going to have another show coming up on May 4th. And that show will be at a place which I am going to look up right now. I'm the best at this. So professional. Let's see.
Totes
Okay, now
profesh.
switch accounts. Totes profesh. Really, you're gonna make me log in? Instagram.
Well,
Why are you like this?
while you're doing that, I'll also buy you time with a pitch. We are going to start doing movie watch parties. I want to say in April, the first one being Highlander, and I think watching some League of Swords before delving into the feature presentation would be a great way to warm ourselves up for that.
Hell
So,
I
yeah.
would absolutely love that. That sounds
hell
amazing.
Hell yeah. All right, then we will nail down dates because scheduling is the ultimate monster. And do you have the location for us?
Uh, yes, in just a second.
No worries. And
Uh,
just to be clear, it will be Highlander 1 director's cut because there are only two Highlander movies, and that is one of them. The other one is Highlander Endgame, but you have to watch all of the TV show before I let you watch that movie.
that doesn't.
In the interim, though, you asked a question about xenomorph excrement, and Sam Delev has come up with the science behind it.
Wait, what?
My God.
You mentioned it. Sam said, "Oh no, now I have to figure this out, Noir." And no, I have the answer to it about
That
the
is
pH of xenomorph poop.
wild.
Uh, to which Gray they did feces with a pH.
I love and fear our audience.
This is a great audience.
They're too powerful.
They're
Truly.
too smart and too fast. So, I will describe it in painstaking detail in our meeting later. Just know that it's all your fault. No. What have I done? Oh God.
Oh God, why is this so hard to find?
I have
I'm
so much.
terrible.
Yeah, AJ has
Right.
too much power. We gotta cut him off. Oh, we got it?
Maybe.
Awesome.
I gotta go through their Instagram and find a post that has listed.
Explanatory graphics.
All right. Well, the show is being put on by us and Imagine Pro Wrestling. And it will be on May 4th. From 5 p.m. to
Ooh.
9 p.m. And really, you don't have the location listed, my friend. My God. I'm gonna have to pull it up in my email.
No worries. And we will also be putting it up on our socials as well here at Morning Ritual. So, just in case, if you need a refresher as to where you could go check this out in LA, I believe it's in LA, right?
It is in LA. It's not
All
going to
right.
be at our old location anymore. They decided they didn't want to be an event location anymore, which is fine. So let's see. Okay, it's going to be in Satacoy, California, which is about an hour and a half from LA. And we'll have more details up on our Instagram and Facebook and stuff later on. But yeah,
LA places have the weirdest names, I swear to God.
seriously.
Give League of Swords a follow on Instagram if you want to figure out where they will be next.
Yeah.
But I think that's been our show, everybody. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us and stopping by. It's been an absolute blast, and thank you, Mike, for coming in and hanging out with us.
Thank you so much for having me on. It's been an absolute pleasure. This is so much fun.
And this is part of the tradition. I'm such a messy bitch for this. We are gonna bully you to come back. The reason that I said I'm a messy bitch is because I truly only say that to folks that I've enjoyed having on the show.
Hell yeah.
So folks can go back to our VODs and see what I don't say. I'm too honest, but
we're gonna go on a raid. Normally we would raid one Sam Delev, but they are not on stream today. So let's go into 1 second, y'all. Why? why does the raid function changed?
Has it?
So
We're-
that it's
We're professionals.
they changed the raid function on Twitch. So now it's no longer people you follow first. You have to like add.
Well, who you trying to raid first off?
That's a question. Is who's online that we can say hello to? I've got
Well,
to actually go to
My
Twitch.
friend Danny is doing a drawing stream right now. If
Oh
you
heck yeah!
want.
Let's go say hello over there. What's the
I
tag?
have put it in the chat.
All right, let's grab it from our chat. 1 second, everybody. This is professional.
Oh, I just discovered there are people that do just dance on Twitch, and like they're full on fucking dancing.
It's
Uh-huh.
not showing up. DANIS corner.
Yep. Oh, it just went offline.
Oh no.
Oh no. Okay.
Y'all want to see some people dance? Because
Sure.
listen, I don't know who they are, so if they've done something terrible, don't blame me. But like,
We're not
I-
responsible.
we
We're
are not responsible
our
for who
rage.
we raise you into. But it's Megan the Mamba, and they're like full on getting down, and like I support this.
All right, yeah, let's go say hello.
All right,
to,
let's go. Let's all
Megan the
go all
Mamba.
be horny
Let's go
with
say hi to
Lamar.
the dancers over there. Thank you all so much for stopping by and hanging out with us, everybody. Until next time, the ritual has
The
concluded.
ritual's concluded.
Bye, everybody.
That's a cool
I said it
phrase.
first.
No, I said it first.